How's it going, folks? Welcome to another fun at-home table read. Tonight, we are jumping into easily one of the best early Kevin Bacon movies from 1990, Tremors. We're just going to jump right into this one. I cannot wait to see how this one's going to go. So, starting us off on intros.
Hello, I am Mary. I will be doing action description.
I'm Logan. I'm going to be reading Val.
I'm George. I'm going to be reading for Earl.
I'm Anne. I will be reading for Rhonda.
I'm Travis, and I'll be reading for Burt.
I am Cate, and I'll be reading for Pham Van.
And Angi is also going to be joining us tonight, and she's going to be playing Nancy. But Mary, take us away.
Beneath Perfection, written by S.S. Wilson and Brent Maddox. Exterior desert alley day. The high desert, absolutely silent, a vast hard landscape stretching away to distant mountains. The silence is broken by hoofbeats. Exterior Edgar's place day. It's a simple cabin dwarfed by a big ramshackle barn. Edgar deems 60s, a weathered desert rat of a hermit, is walking his donkey around in circles. Now, rattling towards them down an endless dirt road comes an old sun-bleached Buick. It stops and out leans old Fred, 70s, wearing a sweat-stained fedora. The two friends nod.
How's she doing? Oh, that's... Damn, Fred, you can't give away all those. Forget it. I got vegetables coming out my ears. Usually the varmints eat up half my crop, but lately I ain't so much as seen a go for a jackrabbit nowheres. If that ain't the truth, and I count on them for a little bit of stew meat. Thank you, Fred.
Edgar takes the carrots and feeds one to the donkey.
Here you go, Justine. Look what Fred brought you. We playing cards tonight? I think I'm gonna be sitting up with her. I'd do the same. We'll catch you Thursday. You bet.
The men nod, and old Fred drives off. Close up of the donkey's hoofs thumping along as Edgar leads her to the barn.
Let's get you out of the sun for a spell. I'll get you some fresh water.
But suddenly, we hear the donkey restless, stomping its hoofs and braying. Edgar turns concerned. Now we hear an odd sound. Distant thunder? The wind? The donkey gets more and more frantic. The barn shudders violently. Frightened birds explode from the eaves. Dust puffs from every seam. Roof shingles rain down. Edgar stares in amazement.
Some kind of earthquake?
Then another sound. The donkey starts screeching in wild panic.
Justine, hang on. I'm coming.
Edgar races back to the barn and flings open the doors. Interior Edgar's barn day. Dust swirls through the air, but the barn is empty. No donkey. Now Edgar is hit by a ghastly stench. He staggers back and covers his nose with a handkerchief. Then he sees, splattered against the walls, blood.
What in the name of Jehovah?
He raises his arms above the doorframe. When he lowers them, he's holding a 12-gauge shotgun. He races outside, ready to shoot, but there's nothing, as far as the eye can see. Exterior cliffs dawn. The sunlight up spectacular sheer cliffs would plunge 1,000 feet from a ruggedly beautiful high desert plateau. At the top of the cliffs, silhouetted against the dawn, a lone cowboy seems to gaze in deep contemplation at the sunrise. As we move in, we realize he's actually peeing over the cliff. This is Valentine McGee, 25, smart and good looking. Val has nevertheless managed to underachieve brilliantly. He coasts through life following the path of least resistance, which has brought him to the dubious rustic existence on the edge of civilization. But lately, he's been beginning to wonder why he hasn't accomplished more in his 25 years. A few sleepy cows gaze at him. Sleepy Val shuffles over to his battered old pickup truck. A hand-painted sign on the door reads, V&E, all types of jobs. Indeed, the pickup bed is jumbled with tools and supplies of every conceivable odd job, and the noisily snoring form of his partner huddled in a dirty sleeping bag. Val raps on the side of the truck.
Morning, Mr. Bassett. This is your wake-up call. Please move your fat ass.
No response from the sleeping bag. Val stares at the cows chewing their cud and perks up as he gets an idea. He gently steps onto the truck's running board, then suddenly starts jumping up and down as hard as he can, rocking the truck violently.
Stampede! Oh, get out of the way!
The sleeping bag tries to get up and run for it. It tumbles out of the back of the pickup. While Val laughs uproariously, Earl Bassett, 43, claws his way out of the bag, looks around wildly, and finds himself staring at 3 motionless cows.
Ah, you dumb shit.
Earl is a good old boy who's lived his life just like Val, drifting from job to job. He knows why he hasn't accomplished anything and often tries to impart his hard-won wisdom to Val. But the last thing the younger man wants is advice. Earl stretches. The men begin a silent ritual. Earl gropes through his pockets for a cigarette, but only finds a lighter. Meanwhile, Val digs in his pockets, coming up with cigarettes, but no lighter. Typically, these two, each guy always has half of what he needs. Eventually, they sort it out, trading the necessary implements. Earl reaches for a coffee pot and a battered Coleman stove on the tailgate, but it's cold.
You didn't cook breakfast?
Did it yesterday. Franks and beans.
Nah, it was eggs. I did eggs.
Hell, you did. It's your turn.
Earl raises his fist. This is the challenge, and it instantly triggers and partners conflict resolution technique. They solve all disputes using the children's game of scissors, rock, paper, or rock, paper, scissors. Earl raises his fist in response. The game is played swiftly and silently. 1, 2, 3. On 3, Val mimes paper. Open hand. Earl mimes scissors. 2 extended fingers. Scissors cuts paper. Val has lost. He shrugs and starts pumping up the stove fuel tank.
Well, I'm your age. I'll probably forget what I eat too.
Exterior Desert Valley fence day. Val and Earl are restringing a dilapidated and seemingly endless barbed wire fence. A few bored cows watch them.
So how many cows does it take to make a stampede? Is it like 3 or more? And is there a minimum speed?
I was in one. A bolt of lightning blew up cottonwood tree. 300 head going hell-bent for the horizon. Wasn't so damn funny, I can tell you.
Earl's hand slips and the fence snags him right through his thick glove.
Ah, god damn. Is this a job for intelligent men?
If there was one nearby, I'd probably ask him.
I keep thinking, if we were but half serious about money, we should quit being hired hands and...
Handymen. We're handymen.
Well, whatever the hell we are, we should quit and go get ourselves some real employment.
Val gestures to the vastness around them.
What? Give up all this personal freedom?
Exterior Jeep trail day. Val guides the truck down a tortuous, rocky, almost impassable trail. It takes full concentration as he fights the steering wheel, shifts, rides the brakes, and leans out trying to pick up decent route. Earl braces his feet on the dash and munches breakfast. A raw hot dog right out of the package.
Goddamn Jeep trail gets worse every year.
Has a lot of rain.
Earl pulls a box of Hershey bars from underneath the seat. There's only 1 bar left. He sets the box down between them. Val glances at it and raises his fist. The challenge. 1, 2, 3. Val mimes paper. Earl mimes rock. Earl loses. Val takes the bar.
You're gonna get us hung up.
Do not talk to the driver.
Thwonk. The truck lurches to a stop, its frame caught in a big rock. Val glares at Earl. Exterior desert intersection pickup truck day. The pickup turns from a dirt road into an old paved road.
What do we have next?
Interior pickup moving day. Earl consults a crumpled list pulled from inside his hat.
Digging that water hole for Nestor.
And Burt and Heather's place is closer. Let's do their kitchen today. Do Nestor tomorrow.
Nestor's out of town tomorrow. We don't dig today. We don't get paid today. Damn it, Valentine, you never plan ahead. You never take the long view. Hell, here it is Monday, and I'm already working on Wednesday. It is Monday, right?
The Val is peering at the desert up ahead. Off the road, a ways to a small Toyota pickup truck, and beside it, a lone figure trying to flag them down.
Who the hell is that? That's not what's his name? The grad student?
Nah, it's September. It must be the new one.
The new one? Well, that's supposed to be a girl.
Earl braces himself, knowing what Val will do. Val swerves the truck wildly off the road, barreling across the desert.
You will have long blonde hair, big green eyes, nice full breasts that stand up and say hello, an ass that won't quit, and legs that go all the way up.
Earl shakes his head, mildly bemused as they slide to a stop on a cloud of dust. Exterior desert, Rhonda's truck day. Val looks out hopefully. The dust clears. He sees her. Rhonda LeBlanc, 25. Val's eyes do an expert vertical scan. Short brown hair, small brown eyes, so chest, legs hidden in baggy dungarees. Laden with a portable computer, notebooks, and some seismograph printouts. She stares at him through tilted glasses. Her little pickup truck is loaded with geology field equipment. She shakes Val's hand firmly.
Hi, I'm Rhonda LeBlanc. I'm here for the semester.
Yeah, geography.
Right, geology. And you have to be Val and Earl? I've heard all about you.
We deny everything.
Rhonda smiles.
Listen, got a question for you. Do you know if anybody who's doing any blasting or drilling or anything like that?
Around here? Why would they?
Well, I'm supposed to monitor these seismographs. You know, they measure vibrations and
Yeah, vibrations in the ground.
Yeah, well, I'm getting what I refer to scientifically as weird vibes. Every sensor I've gotten is giving me strange readings. I mean, the school has had these machines up here for 3 years and they've never recorded anything like this.
Well, we'll ask around. Let you know if we hear of anything.
Thanks. God, I hope they're not screwed up. I might have to bag the whole semester. Anyway, sorry to bother you.
No problem. Nice meeting you. Hope you get it sorted out.
Rhonda unhappily turns back to her equipment as Val and Earl drive off. Interior pickup truck moving day. Earl glances over at Val with a gleam in his eyes.
You know, if you wanted, we could take a look at those seismographs for her.
What the hell do we know about seismographs?
Nothing, but it sure might be a nice way of getting to know her.
Why?
God damn it, Valentine, you won't go for any gal unless she fits that damn list of yours, A to Z.
Well, sure.
And is dumber than my hind end, like that Bobby Lynn Dexter.
Val flips down the truck's sun visor, tapes it to it are snapshots of nearly identical blonde bimbos. Val points to one.
Tammy Lynn Baxter.
Don't matter, they're all the same, dead weight. Can't make a decision, can't walk because of their shoes, can't work because of their fingernails. Makes my skin crawl.
Well, I'm a victim of circumstance.
I thought you called it your pecker. Look, don't make the mistake I made. 20 years of looking for a woman exactly like Miss October 1968. And where to get me? Here with you. Val
rolls his eyes. Give me a break. Exterior perfection established day. The pickup rattles towards a tiny, utterly isolated high desert hamlet. A few dozen houses and mobile homes fighting for shade in the vast landscape. Its most prominent feature is an aging wood frame water tower, perhaps 25 feet high, near the center of town. A sign pans into view. Perfection. Population 14. Exterior Pham van store day. Val and Earl head past the water tower for Pham van's general store, Perfection's main gossip stop and only business. The store sign in English and Vietnamese reads, groceries, haircuts, post office, town hall, videos. Val and Earl park next to a camouflage printed large tire blazer. Just then they spot Melvin, the town's surly teenage pain in the ass, coming towards them, mindlessly bouncing a basketball off the hoods of parked cars as he nears their truck.
Melvin, touch that truck and die.
Oh, shaking.
But he steers clear of their truck. Interior Pham van store day. Inside, the energetic Vietnamese owner, Pham Van, presents over his all-purpose establishment, part general store, part barbershop, part saloon. At the bar are Burnt Gummer and his wife, Heather, two no-nonsense survivalists who have settled in perfection to await the coming apocalypse. A nice enough couple, but there's a hint of paranoia around the edges. Burt is shoving a box of cartridges across the Pham.
No, fam, they're not hollow points. I ordered hollow points, and that's what I...
When Val and Earl enter, Pham automatically pops the tops on 2 cold beers and has them in place before the cowboys reach the bar. Everyone exchanges nods.
Hi guys, what you been up to?
I ran into that new college student, Rona.
Rhonda Lebec. She's getting some kind of strange readings on her things.
Yeah, that was
Damn, you know those kids turn up oil or uranium or something out of there. Next thing, the feds will be at our door. Sorry, time to move. Eminent domain.
Down, honey, down.
Yeah, Bert, the way you were, you're going to have a heart attack before you survive World War III.
Heather and Pham laugh. Bert smiles patiently. Just then, the compressor in Pham's ice cream freezer comes on. It's a loud chug, chug, chug sound mixing with a high-pitched squeal.
Hey Val, listen. Baron going out, you think?
Could be.
He starts towards the compressor, but Earl heads him off.
Catch you later, fam. Gotta get over to Nestor's.
Right. We plan ahead. That way we don't do anything right now. Earl explained it to me.
As they turn to go, Val does a take, amazed, as he spots a decorative bleached out cattle skull displayed on the counter with a $29.95 price tag.
Hey, Van, what the hell is this?
A beauty, isn't it? We bought 3 of them for the rec room.
We sell them to you for $3 a piece.
And I appreciate it.
You don't get it, fam. The idea was we were ripping you off.
Suddenly, a car alarm blares from outside. Bert's out the door in a flash. The others follow. Exterior Pham van store day. Bert races out and shouts at Melvin, who's backed guiltily away from Bert's camouflage blazer.
Melvin, you little pain in the ass! It wasn't me, man. Your truck just screwed up, that's all.
Bert angrily switches off the alarm. Val and Earl laugh as they climb into their truck.
Why don't his parents ever take him to Vegas with them?
You gotta ask that?
Exterior pit day. At one end of town, Earl maneuvers a huge bulldozer with a scoop loader blade through a choking cloud of dust, scouring out a shallow pit to serve as a watering hole. Val sights down a row of stakes which marked one end of the pit. The job is done. He signals Earl to cut the engine. Both men have kerchiefs covering their faces and are totally encrusted with dust. Angle truck trailer day. Nearby is an old battered truck trailer, the massive solid steel kind used for heavy rock hauling. Tires flat, mirrored in dried mud and weeds. It hasn't been used in years. Now it provides welcome shade as the men sit sipping on some coffee. Nestor Cunningham drives up, surveying the pit with approval.
Came out great, boys. Should fill up just fine come next rain. Let me have your bill.
Earl and Val start fishing in their pockets for pen and paper. Earl comes up with various pieces of paper, Val with 3 or 4 pens. It's a moment before they realize each has the other needed implement. Earl writes out the bill during.
I'll have to send it to you the first of the month, boys.
Val and Earl exchange pained looks.
Now, you know I'm good for it.
Yeah, Nestor, we know. Don't worry about it. Just catch us when you can.
They amble over to the truck. Earl takes the driver's side and starts fishing in his pocket for the key.
Are we too easy going?
No, we're not too easy going. This area is economically depressed.
Val realizes he has the key and hands it over.
So what if we just did it today? Like pack up, drive straight down to Bixby. Get serious.
We could, but we'd have to get really serious. It's going to cost twice as much to rent a place.
So? That car wash pays good and they're always looking.
Car wash? That's got no future. If we're going to take the plunge, we ought to have a better plan than that.
Yeah, sure. We'll go ahead and plan it for a year or two.
Exterior Viola's place day. Close on a stenciled sign. Pham vans you rent. Cesspool septic tanks. Pull out to see Val and Earl have rented a portable septic pump, perhaps trailer mounted. The age machine reeks of and drips with its inaudible cargo. The intake hose has been repaired so often it looks to be more tape than hose. Grimacing, Val threads the slimy hose down through the open top of Viola's cesspool. Ugh. Beside them is Viola's well-kept mobile home in a low hill not far off from Pham Van's store. Well-kept flower gardens surround the place. Viola, a sweet little old lady, watches the men work while straining to hold the leash of her tiny but ferocious dog. The dog yaps continuously, lunging at Val and Earl.
Stop it. Stop it, you horrid animal. I'm going to give her back to my son. I swear it.
Hey, Viola, you got my permission.
God almighty, my mama sure didn't raise me for this.
Val gets up and starts the pump gas engine.
Well, you're the one who won't work in the car wash. You're the one who's got to have a plan.
Damn it, Val, not having a plan is what keeps us doing jobs like this.
Earl angrily throws the pump valve and starts the pump mechanism. He and Val on stand either side of the intake hose as it gurgles happily.
Well, what keeps us doing jobs like this is you dragging your feet. I was up for going to Bixby. I was getting excited.
In the past year, I must have said 100 times, we gotta get out of perfection. We gotta better ourselves. You gonna stand there in broad daylight and tell me you think I'm the reason we're still here? You wanna know how close I am to going to Bixby right now?
I'll call that bluff. How close?
Pow! Goosh! The gurgling intake hose ruptures. Oh no. Showering them with, well, you know. They react as if they've been shot, gagging, staggering, screaming obscenities. Exterior Val and Earl's trailer day. Val and Earl beat up mobile home is just down the street from Pham Van's store. Val and Earl, now in cleaner clothes, march out resolutely. Val has a portable TV in one hand and a framed Coors beer sign in the other. Earl unhooks the clothesline and dumps it, clothes and all, into the back of their truck, on top of the rest of their belongings. They stare at each other for a moment. This is it. No going back. They leap into the truck. As they drive off, Val leans out and yanks their wooden nameplate, E. Bassett V. McGee, off the mailbox. Exterior Nancy's house day. They haven't gone 50 yards when they spot Nancy Sterngood, 40s, working in the front of her house. The guys pull their hats low over their faces. Earl swerves to the far side of the street.
Uh-oh, it's Nancy. She wants another load of firewood.
Forget it, man. It's not worth it.
Nancy spots them and beckons excitedly.
She's got us. Now listen, the plan is we have done our last job in perfection.
Well, that's the plan.
They stop beside Nancy. While they talk, Nancy's daughter, Mindy, 9, comes bouncing along in her pogo stick, listening to her Walkman and slowly circling the truck.
Mindy, honey, don't go pogo in the street. Hey, guys, I've got a job for you.
Oh, sorry, Nancy. We ain't doing odd jobs anymore. We're headed for Bixby Permanent.
Oh, sure. My God, you really are.
Yep. We're relocating to an area with greater economic base. Hey, Mindy, what's the count?
603, 604, 605.
Go for it.
Gee, guys, I made the big decision. I'm putting in that satellite dish. I was going to offer you $500.
Val and Earl glance at each other. $500? Exterior Desert Road pickup truck day. The truck roars towards the leaving perfection sign. Val and Earl are elated, downright giddy.
Oh, we did it. We faced temptation and we did not bend.
Damn straight. And there's nothing between us and Bixby, but nothing.
They zoom past the sign.
Last time we'll see that sign.
They laugh, then are blown half out their seats as Earl accidentally hits a big pothole.
Last time we hit that goddamn pothole.
Exterior Desert Wide Day. As the truck streaks across the landscape, Val and Earl merrily continue their goodbyes to whatever is visible.
So long, Cactus.
Adios, Bridge.
Exterior Canyon Road Day. On its way down from the high desert, the lonely road now winds through a twisting, narrow canyon. A county highway maintenance truck is parked to one side, and 2 road workers, Carmine and Howard, repair a slide-damaged section of the road. Carmine breaks up asphalt with a jackhammer. Val and Earl pull up, hand them each a beer, and speed away, shouting.
Last time down this damn twisty road.
Exterior shack day. The pickup speeds past a small shack. Val and Earl automatically roll up their windows. In a moment, we see why. A monster, ferocious dog comes galloping out of to chase their truck. Earl gives the dog a finger.
Last chance, asshole. Run, run.
Exterior Old Fred's place day. Old Fred latches the gate on his corral filled with sheep. He looks up at Val and Earl's truck speeds past. Val and Earl honk their horn and wave happily. Old Fred waves back. Exterior road, electrical towers day. The pickup zooms along the road now, paralleling a line of tall, high tension electrical towers. Interior, exterior pickup truck moving day. The guys have calmed down, but each is still dreaming of a new life.
Okay, so here's the plan. We bust our tails in the car wash 6 months. Well, maybe 9. And we don't spend a dime, you know? And then we go for it. Down payment on a tow truck or a backhoe or something, right? Start a real business. We can start looking for something today, tonight.
Val points up ahead. A man is sitting near the top of a distant electrical tower.
Geez, look at that guy.
Now, one job I'd never take is working around electricity.
Especially when it's 200 feet off the ground.
But as they pass the tower,
Hey, hold up. That's Edgar Deems.
Ah, you're full of shit.
He's only got the one damn jacket. That's him, I'm telling you.
exterior electrical tower day. Earl pulls over. They climb out and peer up at the tower. Edgar is hard to see through the crisscrossing girders.
Man, oh man, he must have really been drunk this time. Hey, Edgar, what the hell you doing? Get on down from there.
Edgar doesn't move. Val and Earl shift about uncomfortably.
Shit, you can't leave him up there.
They stare at each other. Someone's got to climb up. Val raises his fist in the challenge. Their fingers fly. Rock breaks scissors. Val loses. Valentine unhappily climbs the tall tower while Earl watches from below.
Hey, Edgar, don't you move. I'm coming to get you. Damn fool, you owe me for this one.
Higher and higher, Val climbs. He tries not to look down. He's approaching Edgar from below and behind. As he gets near, he begins to notice foreboding details. One of Edgar's shoes is missing. Half the trouser leg is torn off. Edgar is strapped to a girder by his belt, his shotgun gripped in his hands. A swarm of flies buzzes away.
What the hell?
He edges around to where he can see Edgar's face. The eyes are wide open, staring. He's dead. Exterior Old Fred's place day. Old Fred is now hoeing his garden. He glances up as Val and Earl pick up, roars back towards perfection. Exterior Jim and Megan's house day. A big station wagon is parked between a small mobile home and a half-finished house being built by Jim and Megan Wallace, an outgoing, energetic older couple. Lumber, cinder blocks, and tools are scattered around the yard. Jim examines Edgar's body in the bed of Val and Earl's pickup truck. Val, Earl, and Megan talk in subdued tones.
We're real sorry to bother you, Megan, but we figured since Jim's a doctor,
No, it's fine. You did the right thing. When Jim is done, we'll call the coroner's office in Bixby. We'll take care of it. Poor Edgar.
Well, I see you got all the wallboard up.
That was easy. You two did the hard part. Sure, sorry you're leaving. Jim climbs out of the pickup truck.
Was it a heart attack?
Died of dehydration. Thirst.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. That takes a couple of days, doesn't it?
3 or 4 even.
You mean he sat up there 3 or 4 days, just sat there till he died of thirst?
Jim shrugs. Everyone is mystified. Exterior Old Fred's place day. Fred is still hoeing. In the nearby pen, his sheep start acting restless. He eyes them. What's up? We hear a strange muffled sound. Unseen behind him at the far end of the garden, his scarecrow mysteriously tilts. Old Fred keeps hoeing. He stops. His foot is caught in the dirt. Suddenly, he's yanked knee-deep into the ground. Exterior Canyon Road day. Val and Earl's truck, again headed for Bixby, and going away too fast. Zooms past the 2 workers still repairing the road. The workers glance up, annoyed. Exterior shack day. Val and Earl, sobered and deep in thoughts, drive past the shack where the ferocious dog lives. They automatically roll up their windows during.
You reckon he hated perfection more than us? You suppose he wanted to kill himself?
If he did, why didn't he just use the damn shotgun?
Maybe he just couldn't pull the trigger.
Oh, sure, he figured it was easier to die of thirst? Come on, somebody must have chased him up there.
Oh, you mean somebody who ain't scared of a 12-gauge shotgun? And then what'd they do? Camp out down below and just wait for him to die?
Val has no answer. It's too weird.
Whatever the hell happened, it's just one more goddamn good reason to haul ass out of this place.
You got that right.
They are passing the shack. Earl suddenly realizes.
Hey, where the hell's that asshole dog?
Probably up a pole, starving himself to death.
Okay, the plan is pedal to the metal the whole way. We don't stop till we hit the car wash, not even to pee.
I'll go with that plan.
Exterior Old Fred's Place Day. Close on, the pickup tire skidding to a stop. Pull out. We see we're back at Old Fred's.
What are you doing?
Earl is staring wide-eyed. Val follows Earl's gaze and is aghast when he sees the sheep pen. Its ghastly bloody mess scattered on the churned up ground. A few dismembered sheep legs and heads are all that remains of the flock.
What the hell?
Val and Earl leap out of the truck to investigate.
Hey, old Fred! Fred, where are you?
Earl dashes into Fred's house. Val checks around outside. Earl comes back out.
Not here.
Then they spot something lying in the middle of the garden. Old Fred's hat. Still looking all around, Val squats distractedly to pick up the hat. He and Earl stumble backward in shock. Old Fred is still wearing his hat. His mangled face stares up at them, eyes and mouth frozen open in a death grimace.
Oh, Jesus.
What the hell is going on?
Exterior Canyon Road Day. Carmine and Howard continue repairing the road. Carmine still using the noisy jackhammer. Val and Earl drive up.
You guys better get the hell out of here. We got a killer on the loose.
What?
I said there's a goddamn killer on the loose.
What?
Carmine stops jackhammering to listen.
A murderer, man. A real psycho. He's cutting people's heads off. I'm serious. I'd hightail for town if I was you.
Val and Earl speed away.
They're drunk.
Yeah.
But he edges over the truck and takes out a heavy steel pry bar to keep within easy reach. Carmine goes back to work, pounding the asphalt with the jackhammer. Suddenly, the blade strikes something beneath the road, something soft. We hear a strange, unearthly shriek from underground. A weird orange goo gushes up around the blade. Then the jackhammer takes off by itself like a harpoon stuck in a whale. Carmine gets tangled in the jackhammer's air hose and is dragged along, shouting for help. Howard chases him down the embankment and into the scrub brush. He hears Carmine screaming.
Carmine, what the hell is it? Where are you?
But now there's only silence. Howard crashes through the brush. All he finds is the torn end of the air hose, which is suddenly sucked down into the ground. He's momentarily staggered by the awful smell, but forces himself to keep looking. He lets the pry bar drag on the ground. Then something, it looks like a mouth or a horrid beak, shoots out of the ground and grips the pry bar with uncanny strength. Howard drops the weapon and scrambles madly away. He clambers back onto the road, but almost immediately cracks form in the pavement around him. More beak things break through the asphalt between him and his truck. He dashes across the road, scrambling up the embankment. He clings precariously to a tree root, looking down. Where'd they go? Suddenly, the dirt around him begins to bubble. Several hungry beaks break through and grab him, yanking him headfirst into the embankment. Then the embankment gives way, crashing down into the road, taking with it a nearby telephone pole and snapping the lines. Interior Pham Van store day. Pham Van is talking to Miguel, a local rancher. They both jump as the doors burst open. Val and Earl race in, trailed by Nestor and Melvin. Val heads for the payphone during.
His head? You mean just his head?
Val grabs the phone and digs into his pocket for change.
Yeah. Really sick, man. Sweet old Fred.
Earl comes up with change and hands it to Val, who dies.
Something happened to Fred?
Are you serious, man? They killed him just to take his sheep?
He didn't have nothing else to steal. Neither did Edgar. What happened to Edgar?
Val stares at the phone.
I don't believe this. The phone is out. Pham, your phone is out.
I didn't do it. What's going on?
Val and Earl rush out. Exterior Pham Van store day. Trailed by the others, Val and Earl march out and leap into their truck. Val's driving. Now he searches for the key.
We gotta get the police up here. You guys gotta step on it to Bixby.
Earl hands Val the key.
It's stepped on.
Exterior Canyon Road day. Again, the pickup barrels through the canyon.
Brother, we decided to leave this place just one day too late, you know?
Well, there's sure as hell nothing to stop us now. Everybody we know between here and Bixby is already dead.
Earl points ahead and screams.
Look out!
Val brings the truck to a squealing stop. Ahead, the collapsed embankment completely blocks the road. It's totally impassable. The cowboys are dumbfounded.
Is some higher force at work here? Are we asking too much of life?
But Val is in no mood for philosophy. He leaps out and peers into the highway maintenance truck, which sits undisturbed. Emergency lights still flashing. There's nobody in it. He starts looking around.
Those assholes are supposed to be fixing the goddamn road. Hey! Hey, where are you guys? Use this road, you know? Booze break or what?
Val!
Val looks where he's pointing. Howard's bloodstained hard hat lays on the edge of the landslide. Val gets the point, looking around for the unknown assailant. He eases back into the truck. Earl already has a pistol in his lap and is digging through the glove compartment.
Where are the bullets? Don't we have any goddamn bullets?
Val quickly jockeys the truck to turn it around on the narrow road, but as he backs into the hillside, we hear the strange grating clunk from underneath. When he tries to pull forward, the truck won't move. The engine stalls.
Jesus, I don't believe this!
You're hung up again.
I am not.
They both lean out. The rear tires are clear. Val restarts the truck and tries to pull forward, rocking the truck against some unseen pole. Smoke wells up from the clutch.
You're hung up, I tell you. You're gonna burn the clutch.
Val slams the truck into low-range four-wheel drive and revs it. The tires dig in, fighting for traction, and suddenly the truck lurches free. We hear the eerie shriek mingled with gear and engine noise as Val angrily roars away.
You know, Jesus, you can break an axle like that.
Fuck you.
Hey, I don't want to spend the night out here.
Exterior Pham Van store day. The word has spread. Everybody in town is gathered at Pham Van's. They rush out to meet Val and Earl as they drive up.
What the hell are you doing back already?
You're never going to believe this, but the Canyon Road, we were on it not 2 hours ago. It's completely...
But he stops because they're all staring wide-eyed at the rear of the truck.
My God.
Val and Earl jump up and look where everyone else is looking. Their jaws drop. Reveal hanging from the rear axle of their truck and trailing out like a nightmare wedding decoration, a 6-foot-long, grotesque, fleshy tentacle. The end gripping the axle looks like a vicious razor-sharp beak or hook. The trailing end is mutilated, oozing orange goo as though the creature was torn in half.
Unreal. Where'd you get it?
I didn't know we had it.
It's disgusting. Looks like an eel?
Eels live in the water.
So some kind of snake?
Or a big mother slug, maybe.
Some kind of mutation?
Burt, more daring than others, pries the thing off the axle with a shove.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It's dead, all right. Tore the damn thing in half.
Must have grabbed us. That's why the truck stalled out.
Yeah, well, next time I tell you I'm not hung up.
Stalled out your truck? Have to be one strong son of a bitch.
Pham Van leaps over them.
I give you boys $5 for it.
Val and Earl square their shoulders. This time they're ready for him.
20.
Okay, $10.
15.
Okay, 15.
Damn right, 15.
Burt is deep in thought.
Just one of these couldn't eat up off a whole flock of sheep. There's got to be more out there, a lot more.
A cold chill spreads through the group. They stare out at the vast, forbidding desert. They suddenly feel alone. Very alone. Exterior desert day, close on Rhonda's hat laying on the ground. We think the worst. Then she reaches in, picks it up, and puts it on. Reveals she's in a lonely corner of the valley working with a seismograph. She pounds a marking stake into the dirt. Insert close on seismograph. The needle responds to each blow on the stake. We hear Rhonda stop pounding. The needle stops. All is silent. But the needle starts moving again. Back to scene. Low camera is moving in Rhonda's general direction. She starts to pound another stake. Camera reacts to it, so we're moving straight towards her. As it passes a burrow, a rabbit suddenly scouts out. Camera whips pans to watch the rabbit scamper into the distance, then turns back to move towards Rhonda, who's still pounding her steak. Camera passes Rhonda's seismograph. The machine tilts slightly as the ground bulges up beneath it. Rhonda finishes pounding. She heads for the truck, noisily tossing in her tools and slamming the tailgate. Camera closes in on her faster and faster. It's right on her heels as she climbs into the cab. Angle, Rhonda's truck. A beak thing thrusts out of the ground, groping where Rhonda's boot just was. Rhonda drives off, unknowingly running right over the thing. We hear a shriek of pain as the tentacle writhes and sucks back under the ground. Interior Pham van store night. Mindy Sturgood poses cautiously with the bizarre hook tentacle. A camera flashes and reveals Pham van taking her photo beside a sign. Photographs, you and the snake monster, $2. Viola and Miguel wait in line. We now see the store is crowded with concerned townsfolk debating what to do and how to protect themselves. Val and Earl sit on the sidelines, sipping beer, gazing in awe at the enterprising Pham.
Slick as snot, and I'm not lying.
15 lousy bucks.
A man who plans ahead.
Dominating the discussion are Burt and Heather, now armed with scope magnum hunting rifles. Heather stands guard at the window, peering out into the night.
Look, we organize, we arm ourselves, we go out, we find those damn snake things, we make them extinct.
Oh, come on, Bert. We don't even know what they are.
Might be aliens. Who knows?
Why go looking for trouble?
Miguel, the trouble will come to us if we're not ready.
Phone's out, road's out. We're on our own.
And you two just love it, don't you?
Come on, Nancy. Don't let's get personal. We need to do something.
Bert steps over to a faded topographic map of the wall and points out details during.
Damn right, you folks got to analyze the situation with that road out. We're completely cut off. Got the cliffs to the north, mountains east and west. That's why Heather and me settled here in the first place. Geographic isolation.
Well, there must be some way to get help. Yeah, that's what I said.
How, for Christ's sake? You're going to walk 38 miles to Bixby?
Hey, what about Pham van's saddle horses?
All heads turn toward Pham van.
Welcome to them. Does anybody know how to ride?
All heads turn towards Val and Earl. Exterior Jim and Megan's house established night. In the vast desert night, a single floodlight illuminates Jim and Megan's partially finished house. Their station wagons is parked out front. A country and western tune drifts to us from its radio. As we move closer, we see the floodlight is powered by a small, softly purring generator set maybe 50 feet away. Jim and Megan, both exhausted, unload a big stack of roofing shingles from their station wagon. Jim starts to lift a package of shingles, but gives up and sits on the tailgate.
I'm dead. Let's finish in the morning.
We have to go to Bixby in the morning. The concrete blocks are in.
Oh my God.
Just keep looking at that beautiful sky.
What?
That's the sky that's going to be over our roof every night when we're done.
But consider this. If we don't finish the roof, we can look at the sky all the time.
Just then, the whirling of the generator becomes strangely muffled. The floodlight flickers. Now the generator dies. Darkness engulfs them. The car radio music drones on incredulously.
Damn that thing.
We could always buy a new generator. Jim digs out a powerful flashlight and heads over towards the generator. Megan lies back, taking a welcome breather. After a moment, well, what's wrong with it?
It's gone.
Angle Jim, baffled, he sweeps the whole area with the flashlight. Megan joins him. Are you sure this is where it was?
Am I sure? It was right there. There's the cord.
The severed electrical cable stops at the edge of a cone-shaped depression in the earth where the generator sat. He hands her the flashlight and kneels. We watch tensely as he probes the loose earth with his hands.
Maybe the ground caved in. There's a lot of old mines and stuff around here.
Megan grabs his shirt, trying to pull him back. Well, then don't. You don't want to fall in. Suddenly, about 10 feet away, whoomp, The generator shoots up out of the ground. Jim and Megan dive for cover as it sails through the air and crashes to the earth. They stare transfixed. The generator is dented and bent almost beyond recognition and covered with oozing slime.
What the?
But Megan is all action. She yanks him back. Come on, get away from it.
Oh, God, what a stink.
We hear it again, that mysterious rumbling sound. Jim stops, sweeping the flashlight around him.
Hear that?
Never mind, let's go. Let's just go into town or something. Jim, please. She hustles him bodily towards the car during.
You know, I bet it's geological or something like natural gas or geyser. They stink like that. Remember in Yellowstone?
Suddenly, he drops knee deep to the ground. Megan is thrown off balance and tumbles to one side. The flashlight falls, lightening them at an eerie low angle.
Oh, something's got me.
We hear sickening crunches from below the earth. He screams in excruciating agony.
Oh, God, get me out. Get me out.
He struggles wildly, but just sinks further down. Megan slides a 2x4 over to Jim. He grabs it like a drowning man trying to keep himself from being pulled down, but he's pulled with the suck power of a 2 and the 2x4 snaps. His head is going under. Megan desperately tries to dig the smoother earth away, but she's losing. Now only his arms are above the ground. She pulls with all her might, but he sinks inexorably down. She pulled flat on the ground, and he's gone. The next instant, a vicious hook tentacle erupts through the earth, missing Megan's face by inches. She scrambles back frantically. Angle station wagon, low camera pursues Megan towards the car, just missing her as she dives through the open tailgate. She slams it after her. The tail end rakes across the car, scratching the glass. Megan tumbles into the front seat. Thank God the keys are in the ignition. She starts the engine, but outside, the snake things attack the car in frenzy, slashing blindly. A rear tire is totally shredded just as Megan floors it. The car lurches forward, but the mutilated tire falls apart. The wheel rim digs into the loose earth and the car is stuck. With no other recourse, Megan locks the door, rolls up the windows, and cowers in the middle of the car, panting, sobbing. The radio is still playing a happy cowboy tune. She peeks out. They gave up? She's safe? Nothing happens for a moment. Then the car starts to shake and shudder. Dust wells up around the windows. Outside, we see a bizarre sight. The earth around the rear of the car is boiling. Dirt flying in all directions, and the car starts to sink into the ground. Megan wildly honks the horn. The car looks just like a ship going down by the stern, hood tilting up gracefully. The back windows shatter, dirt pouring in. Megan smashes the windshield with a small fire extinguisher and scrambles out on the hood, but there's no hope. The car keeps sinking, tilting now almost 90 degrees, forcing her into a precarious perch on the grill. Sinking. Out of the mind with terror, she keeps softly murmuring the same hopeless phrase. Stop it. Somebody stop it. Exterior desert, Jim and Megan's house, very wide night. The headlights are two ironic beacons, sending their beams skyward towards the rolling dust into the night sky. The sound of the radio becomes muffled. The headlights sink from view, and then Megan's scream floats across the desert. Exterior Pham van store, dawn. Out front of Pham van's nervous Val and Earl saddle up the horses while Pham loads their saddlebags with food. Everyone is gathered to see them off. There's an air of tension.
Pham, I don't want to be stuck with a couple of canners. They better be fast.
Relax. A snakeling like that couldn't move too quick.
Screw you. For all we knew, they could fly.
Earl pulls their old Smith & Wesson revolver and battered Winchester rifle out of the pickup truck.
You want the rifle or the Smith?
The rifle.
So does Earl. He raises his hand. They swiftly do a round of scissors, rock, paper. It's rock, paper, scissors. Earl loses. He hands Val the rifle. And just then, Burt and Heather pull up their blazer, climbing out with their hunting rifles.
You guys all right? You guys all set?
Yeah, ready as we'll ever be.
Heather and I are going to drive around a little to see if we can find that college girl and tell her to get her ass back on the town.
Yeah, good idea. And we'll swing by the doctor's place. They were going to go into Bixby, and we don't know if they left before the road was out.
Val and Earl mount up.
Hold on. You guys ought to take something that packs more punch than a 30-30. Take one of our Browning autos, or even my Model 70. It's 37.5 H&H mag.
Earl takes the awesome-looking gun with a smug glance at Val.
Gee, thanks, Heather. Hope we don't need it.
Heather unhooks the box of cartridges from her belt and hands it to Earl. Suddenly, there's a blood-curdling scream. The door to Pham Van's flies open. Out staggers Melvin, wrapped in Pham Van's hook tentacle, writhing in apparent agony.
It's got me. It's got me.
People scatter like sheep. Burt and Heather give guns trained on him in an instant. Then everyone realizes it's a sick joke. Melvin collapses with laughter. Burt is livid. He almost shot Melvin. He charges over and yanks the kid to his feet, screaming.
You stupid punk. You came that close. That close.
You know, one of these days, Melvin, somebody's going to kick your ass.
Pham rushes over and grabs his precious tentacle. As people calm down, Val and Earl gaze nervously at the vast desert before them.
Well, you fellas watch yourselves.
Come back with a sheriff.
Sheriff, like hell, come back with a National Guard.
They ride out to a audible chorus. Keep your heads down. Go careful, boys. Keep a sharp lookout, etc. Exterior desert day. Val and Earl ride along, very tiny in the vast, lonely landscape and very on edge, constantly looking all around.
You know, we can't possibly make Bixby by nightfall.
Val doesn't want to hear it.
That means we're going to be out here, like, in the dark.
Great. Thank you.
Faint country and western music, radio music drifts to them. They're nearing Jim and Megan's house. Exterior Jim and Megan's house day. Val knocks on the door to the mobile home.
Hey, Doc, anybody there?
No answer. He opens the door and peers inside. Behind him, Earl steps out of the half-finished house and shrugs. Nobody around. Wind rustles the plastic sheet over the windows. Strangely, they can hear the muffled radio clearly.
Oh, man, I hate this shit.
They walk briskly to their horses. Earl snatches Heather's rifle from its saddle scabbard. Val pulls out the Winchester. Earl tries to reassure himself.
Car's gone. We just missed him, that's all.
Where's the goddamn Conway Twitty coming from?
They focus on the sound and walk gingerly towards it, keeping constant watch in every direction. The ground here is all torn up like the sheep pen, and the music is coming from underneath. What the hell is going on? Val scrapes at the dirt with his boot and finds the headlight of Jim and Megan's station wagon. Still on, glaring up at him, he drops down and wildly sweeps away more dirt, revealing more of the car's grill and hood. And blood. Soaked dirt which sticks to his hands. He leaps away, frantically rubbing the blood off it on his pants.
Oh, man.
Exterior desert concrete ditch day. Val and Earl are riding at full gallop. They race alongside a concrete lined flood controlled ditch and veer off to follow a barbed wire fence with crosses the ditch. Exterior desert and barbed wire fence day. They ride along the fence during.
All right, here's the plan. We don't even stop. Ride like hell. Tonight we keep right on going. We'll walk the horses.
That is the plan. I mean, God damn it. What the hell are those things? How can they bury an entire Plymouth station wagon?
Why would they do it?
Suddenly, the horses stop short. In a frenzy, they wheel around, rear up, refusing to go on. The cowboys fight to control them.
I knew it. Pham Van wouldn't have a decent horse if...
But Earl already drawn his rifle.
Shut up. They got wind of something they don't like.
Shit.
He draws his rifle. They look wildly in all directions at once, but there's nothing. Only empty desert.
I don't see anything.
They keep staring. The horses keep pacing nervously. Then Earl's horse rears wildly and falls. Earl goes flying. Val wheels around wildly, dismounts and runs to Earl, who is bruised and winded, but basically unhurt. They think Earl's horse just tripped.
Hey, you okay? You okay?
Yeah. Well, what about the horse?
Their eyes bulge. Several snake things have engulfed the horse's head, sucking, crushing, slurping. Val's horse goes berserk and gallops for the horizon.
What in the name?
That's how they get you. Go to the goddamn ground.
Suddenly, they realize what that means, and the thing could come up from under them. The cowboys scramble frantically away, but nothing pursues them. They pause, glance back nervously.
What the hell are they?
Val raises his rifle and takes a well-aimed shot, hitting one of them. Orange goo spurts out. We hear a deafening shriek as all the snake things instantly zip back underground. Then a huge mound of earth rises up under Val and Earl. The cowboys tumble down its side. Val losing his rifle, they roll over and stare dumbfounded at the mound.
Must be a million of them.
The mound of earth turns towards them. The ground splits open and out rises a huge head.
Nope, just one.
The monster is a horrendous 30-foot long eating machine. Its head is eyeless, utterly alien, covered with tough, bony plates, which close together to form a corkscrew point. The cowboys stumble back towards the fence in speechless terror. The creature slides towards them, pushing through the earth like a whale through water. Now it opens its mouth, but it's like a grotesque flower, bony plates spreading open like petals, revealing a huge, slimy, fleshy, oozing orifice. And inside the mouth, a ghastly, multi-tentacled tongue. And these are the snake things. Not snakes at all, but actually the horrid hook tentacles that can shoot out 6 feet to snag their prey. The monster snorts and snuffs, throwing up plumes of dust, sounding like a horrendous pig. It sinks into the earth and charges. We see the hump of earth move towards the faster and faster, but it disappears as the creature goes deeper. Val and Earl leap sideways and run along the fence. The creature goes straight and slams into the fence post from below, and all we see is the fence post knocked out at a crazy angle. The cowboys keep running. The creature regroups and charges after them, hitting each fence post in turn, sending weird, sinuous shockwaves along the barbed wire, making almost musical twanging sounds. Val looks back.
It's gaining on us.
And as if it weren't enough, Earl points to more trouble ahead. Exterior concrete ditch day. The fence runs straight to the edge of the ditch, an 8-foot wide gap yawning dead ahead. The creature churns like a locomotive from behind. They'll have to try to jump. They strain desperately for every last fraction of speed.
We can do it. We can do it.
They leap and they don't do it. They smack into the opposite side of the ditch, clawing frantically at the lip, only to tumble to its sloping bottom. A split second later, the charging creature slams like a wrecking ball into the foot-thick concrete wall. The wall cracks and bulges out. A hooked tentacle flops out through one of the cracks. Terrified, Val and Earl scramble away, but the wall holds together. And this strangely, all is quiet. The tentacle lays dead still. Eventually, the cowering cowboys dare to creep back a little closer, still panting, exhausted, jumpy.
Stupid son of a bitch, knocked itself cold.
And now strange orange slime begins to ooze through the crack in the concrete.
Hold my ass. It's dead. We killed the bastard.
He shakes his fist at the dead beast. They allow themselves a small wheeze of nervous laughter, only to jump like rabbits as the pedal rattles loudly down the concrete wall behind them. They whirl to see Rhonda up on the opposite side of the ditch, staring down at them. She's lugging a bunch of her equipment, including a small folding shovel.
Hi guys, how you doing? Look, can I ask you something? Did you just notice something weird? I don't know, vibrations, some kind of earth tremor?
Val and Earl look at each other, then burst out laughing. Rhonda spots the cracked wall.
What's that?
Exterior concrete ditch day. The shattered concrete has been pulled away to fully reveal the creature's horrendous head. Start close in. Oozing blood, slathering mouth plates hang open, hooked tentacles lolling out. Widen to see Earl and Rhonda sweating, dusty and tired, staring in awe and cringing at the stench.
Jesus Christ, you think it smells like that because it's dead?
I don't see any eyes. It must be totally subterranean. And those tentacles.
I think they shoot right out of its mouth. They hook you and you pull you right in. Good thing we stopped it before it killed anybody else.
Yeah, I'm lucky it didn't find me. This is important, This is like, well, let's say it. It's probably the biggest zoological discovery of the century. The century? Oh, forget it. History.
We can hear a shovel digging up above, and now Val shouts.
Just look at what we caught here.
Earl and Rhonda climb up, crane up with them to reveal the whole animal. Val, digging excitedly with Rhonda's shovel, is just scraping away last loot dirt from the creature's tail. The whole length of the immense 30-foot beast is partially uncovered in king-sized bas relief.
This is one big mother.
So is this the guy that has your seismo is working overtime?
She nods, stepping down to study the creature. The body is streamlined, cigar-shaped, maybe 8 feet in diameter at the thickest. It's covered with hundreds of short, rear-pointing, retractable spikes. Rhonda gingerly juggles one. It can be pushed in and out of its socket like a plunger.
It must push itself along with these. Hundreds of them pushing at once. That's how it can move so fast. I mean, this thing was tripping sensors all over the valley. No wonder I couldn't.
The chilling thought stops her in mid-sentence. She springs down into the drainage ditch to get her backpack, pulling out the seismograph printouts. She studies them frantically during.
Hang on, sorry. What page are we on? I'm sorry.
37?
37.
Got it. I got it. Hey, Rhonda, you ever heard of anything like this before?
Sure, Earl. Everybody knows about it. We just didn't tell you. Come on, nobody's ever seen one of these. We're really in on something here.
The guys look at each other. One thought immediately springs to their minds.
Well, Pham Van don't get his mitts on this for no measly $15.
You got that right.
While they bask in their fame to be, Rhonda continues to study the printouts, coming to a terrifying conclusion.
All right, here's the plan. We'll get a flatbed, I guess, with a big winch, figure a 5 ton anyway.
Nah, we don't want to winch it. That'll tear it all up. We want to lift it. Some kind of a crane with lifting straps.
But Rhonda interrupts, now really scared.
Hey, shut up! The way I figure it, there are 5 more of these things.
Val and Earl shut right up. Earl edges up the fence post. Val sidles up into the rock during.
5 more?
Rhonda paused through the unwieldy printouts, pointing out jagged ink lines around the graph, comparing different ones.
Yeah, God darn it. Look, I've got seismographs all over the valley. If you compare the different readings, there have to be 5. Here's one at 2 o'clock yesterday, okay? But here's another one 3 miles away at the same time. So that's 2. Okay, now here.
The men leap from their perches and hustle her in this direction she came from.
Yeah, we'll take your word for it.
Yeah, where's your truck?
The other side of that dome.
She indicates what the most of us would be a hill, dotted with huge boulders thrusting out of the sandy desert soil like big mushrooms. The trio jogs towards the hill. Exterior desert, seismograph day. En route to the truck, they pass near one of Rhonda's seismographs. Suddenly, Earl stumbles as one leg drops knee deep into the ground. He screams. Val wheels and bodily yanks him up. They back away from the small hole in the ground, calming a little as they realize.
Prairie dog burrow.
Little sons of bitches.
False alarm. Rhonda tenses as she hears a sound she knows well, the soft scratching of the seismograph needle across its paper cylinder. She whacks Val on the shoulder and points speechlessly at it. Insert seismograph. The needle is going wild. Back to scene. She doesn't have to explain all 3 of them. -4. Exterior boulder field day. The remains of an old rail fence lay beside one of the boulders. Val and Earl and Rhonda scramble over the wood up onto the rock, standing there tensely. In a moment, the creature gently rustles the earth as the base of the rock. The monster's slimy, hooked tentacles slither out, searching the rock base. Shuddering, the humans move as high as they can, well out of reach. The tentacles slip back beneath the earth. Everyone breathes a sigh of relief.
Well, at least the bastard can't climb. Pardon my French.
Probably couldn't move too easily on the surface.
God, the live ones smell worse than the dead ones.
Okay, how far is your truck?
Rhonda points. They can see the roof of the truck maybe 100 yards away through the boulders. Val and Earl think about it.
I don't know if this one's any faster than the other one.
I think we wait right here.
Dissolve 2, exterior boulder field sunset. It's hours later, stiff and uncomfortable. They have nothing to do but theorize.
There's nothing like them in the fossil record, I'm sure. Okay, so they predate the fossil record. No, that'd make a couple of billion years old, and we've just never seen one until now. Right.
I'd vote for outer space. No way those are local boys.
Atomic testing. Oh no. Bioengineering. Government built them with a big surprise for the next war.
There's a long pause. Earl stares at the dirt around the rock.
Well, haven't seen a sign for hours. Maybe it's long gone.
Maybe it is. Why don't you take a little stroll and go check?
Well, fuck you too. Pardon my French.
Well, we've got to do something.
Val gets an idea. He grabs a post from the dilapidated fence and casually slips down near the boulder's edge.
Watch yourself. It's got a good 6-foot reach.
Val nods, dead silence as he reaches way out with the post and scrapes it on the ground. Almost instantly, the creature roars up, grabbing the post in a fury of flying dirt and lashing tentacles, nearly hooking Val's hand. Val practically falls over himself, scrambling back to safety.
Son of a bitch!
Son of a goddamn bitch. Been waiting there all this time? How the hell does it even know we're still here?
Listening to us. Got no eyes. It sure as hell can't smell anything underground. So I figured.
Rhonda stares at Val, impressed.
Of course, it can sense the slightest seismic vibration. Hear every move we make, especially on this rock. It's a perfect conductor.
They all settle back, having no idea what to do next. Rhonda gazes out at the desert that surrounds them like an ocean.
I always wanted to be stuck on a desert island, but somehow I always imagined, water.
Dissolve 2, exterior boulder field night. Our heroes are silhouetted against a huge, spectacular desert night sky. After a long pause.
I hate to be crude, but I'm going to have to take care of some business here.
Yeah, me too.
I'm here.
The silhouettes shift, Val and Earl moving down one side of the rock and Rhonda down the other. We can no longer see them. We just hear zippers zipping down, then soft sighs of relief from Val and Earl. Then...
Darn it!
You okay?
Yeah, but I'll tell you, if you ever want to prove God is a man, this is it.
Dissolve 2, exterior boulder field dawn. Rich orange sunlight creeps silently across the deathly still desert. Earl is already awake. Val is curled up without his jacket, shivering. He wakes up with a start. Where the hell's his jacket? Rhonda wakes up slowly. She's surprised to find herself wrapped in Val's jacket. Touched by his chivalry, she embarrassedly hands it to the baffled Val.
Thanks.
Val glances at Earl, who looks away. Who? Me?
No problem. Anytime.
Earl gropes through his pockets, coming up with only cigarettes. Val fishes in his own pockets, finding only their lighter. They exchange items and light up during.
Well, folks, what's the plan?
Let's see if Stumpy's still out there.
This time he tosses a piece of wood out into the sand. With a soft rustling, a bulge forms in the earth, moves over to the wood, then subsides. Rhonda starts looking around during.
Don't he have a home to go to?
That's why Edgar never got off the damn tower.
I might have an idea.
We're going to have to come up with some kind of a plan, or it's just going to weight us to death.
Well, I was wondering if we could...
Let's just run for it. We outran that one yesterday, at least on a sprint.
Rhonda gives up on them. She goes over and pulls a long cross rail from the fence during.
Run for it? Running's not a plan. Running is what you do when the plan fails. You're not even trying to come up with a plan.
Well, it's not like you got a hell of a lot of options.
You guys know how to pole vault?
They watch in surprise as she hefts her pole, checking the balance, eyeballs the distance of the nearest boulder. Then she charges between them, plants the pole, and vaults smoothly over to the next boulder, maybe 15 feet away. The creature surfaces where her pole touched, but it's too late. A hooked tentacle vainly sweeps the area, then disappears into the ground. Val and Earl glance at each other, impressed.
We just stay where it can't get us on these residual boulders. My truck's parked right next to one.
Earl rushes to grab a couple more fence rails.
Stay on those residual boulders.
Val just stands staring at Rhonda. His horizons are broadening. Earl stuffs a fence rail into his hands.
Tammy Lynn Baxter, she do a lot of pole vaulting?
Earl takes a deep breath and goes for it, vaulting across to Rhonda. Val follows. Exterior boulder field, wide shot day. Through the shimmering heat in the distance, we see the strange sight of three figures vaulting from boulder to boulder. Exterior boulder field, Rhonda's truck day. Val, Earl, and Rhonda pole vaults their way towards the truck. Finally, they're at the nearest boulder, but the truck is still 10 feet away.
Think it's still following us?
Let's assume that it is.
And once we hit that truck, we gotta go fast. I say we all jump together.
Rhonda and Val nod. Rhonda grips her car keys in her teeth.
Ready?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
They all vault in unison, landing in the truck bed. Rhonda scrambles up, slides open the cab rear window, and begins wriggling through head first.
Come on, girl, it ain't gonna give us much time.
Dust explodes around the rear of the truck. Hooked tentacles snake up all sides, narrowly missing Val. He and Earl grab whatever's handy, pounding at the tentacles with expensive instruments.
Go, go, go!
Rhonda's only halfway through the cab window, still hanging headfirst into the cab. She frantically starts the truck, dives down, and punches the accelerator with her fist. As the truck roars away, one tentacle manages to tear off the muffler. The engines thunder like a tank. Val and Earl sit back, sighing in relief, then react when they see Rhonda is driving upside down and blind. That's impressive. Exterior Pham van store day. Rhonda skids her noisy truck to the halt in front of Pham vans.
We better get everybody together.
Val leaps out and jumps into his pickup truck. He searches for the keys.
You go north, I'll go south.
Right.
Val holds out his hand for the key. Earl tosses it to him. Val drives off. We follow Rhonda and Earl as they drive the other way towards Viola's.
I'll bet you're sorry the college ever sent you up here.
Well, I'm scared, but I'm not sorry.
You know, Val went to that college too, for a whole year. Couldn't quite sit still for it, though. Had too much vinegar in his system. But once he settles down, forgets this cowboy stuff, he'll be 1 in a million.
Rhonda sees straight through Earl's clumsy attempt to matchmake. She can't help but smile. Earl grins sheepishly.
All right, I'm about as subtle as a donkey's ass. Pardon my French. I'm just saying the boy's got potential, that's all.
Move in on Rhonda, her, and Val. Interior Pham van store day. Nestor, Viola, Nancy, and Miguel nervously crowd around Val, Earl, and Rhonda. Viola holds her yappy dog, which periodically snarls and snaps at people. Pham van is on his CB radio trying to contact Burt and Heather.
Are you serious, Val? You think we're not even safe here in town?
Ask me that after you meet one. I think we should all get the hell out of here while the getting's good.
Why not just take a number 10 pickaxe and give it one good whack?
Nestor, damn it, these things are bigger than an Airstream trailer.
God, I've got to find Mindy.
Nancy rushes out.
Hey, Pham, where's Burt and Heather?
Hey, Pham. Sorry, can't raise them. Guess they're still out there somewhere.
Well, if you got the radio, why aren't you calling somebody in Bixby? The police or the fire?
Can't reach outside the valley, because of the mountains.
Hey, Rhonda, what's the name you call those things, huh?
Where'd they come from?
Huh? I don't know.
You're a scientist, right?
You should have a theory at least.
Look, these things are absolutely unprecedented. Yeah, but where'd they come from? Where did they come from? Okay, worms, probably in the Jurassic period. Cosmic radiation was much higher then, so they mutated and they got big and just sank right into the ground and fell asleep. But now, the continental drift has brought them to the surface, ready to be harvested by the ancient alien meat growers who planted them here.
Everybody stares at her and they smile, realizing she's pulling their leg.
You're right. It don't matter where they come from.
Right. We need to talk about what we're going to do.
My goodness, Valentine. Once they see the road is out and the phone lines are down, someone will be along to look in on us. Don't you think?
Exterior Canyon Road day. We see the utility truck still parked near the landslide, blocking the road. Reveal on the far side, a telephone maintenance truck is now parked, emergency lights flashing, and nearby amid phone workers climbing and repairing gear, 2 more hard hats lying on blood-soaked ground. Exterior. Nope. Interior Pham van store day. The crowd is still jabbering away. Rhonda speaks over them.
No. They listen. They can sense the slightest vibration through the ground. That's how they see. That's how they hunt.
So, we don't vibrate, right? Maybe they won't even come to here, huh? Right? Maybe they leave us alone.
Val shakes his head and marches over to the topographic map on the wall.
Look, they caught up with Edgar here, and they grabbed old Fred here. They nailed the asshole dog here, and the doctor's place is here.
The spots he indicated describe a line heading along the valley straight towards them.
This valley's just one long smorgasbord. If we don't haul ass out of here, we're the next course.
We hear an eerie shriek from outside. Somebody shoots through the window, striking Earl in the chest. Earl flails frantically at it, but it's only Melvin's basketball. We glimpse Melvin outside, doubled over with laughter. Earl grabs the ball and hurls it viciously back, but Melvin easily dodges it.
You little asswipe. You knock that off or you're going to be shitting that basketball. Pardon my French.
Now, Val, let's assume they're dangerous, as you say. Where are we going to go that's safer than right here?
Rhonda's got an idea about that.
Yes, see, they move very easily through the Pleistocene alluvials. The dirt, the loose soil that makes up the valley floor. Okay, but they can move through They can't move through solid rock. I think we should travel west to the mountains.
Yeah, up the Jeep Trail.
The mountains are solid granite. We'll be safe up there, and we could hike along them all the way to Bixby if we have to.
Exterior edge of the town day. Nancy rushes back towards Pham Van's still looking.
Mindy!
Exterior Pham Van store day. We close in on Melvin as he circles around the back of Pham Van's, bouncing his basketball, mischief in his eyes. We can hear the townsfolk inside.
No, Valentine, I'm not leaving my place.
But look, it's going to take us days to get back with help.
Doggone it, Viola. It's just plain crazy to stay.
Then, to Melvin's astonishment, the steady rhythm of his bouncing basketball suddenly stops. The ball just goes flop and doesn't bounce back up to him. He looks down. No ball. Just swirling dust at his feet. Interior Pham Van store day. Everyone jumps as we hear an eerie, shattering shriek from Melvin. Earl snarls and heads for the door, Val right behind him.
I'm going to kick his ass.
I'm going to help you.
Exterior Pham Van store day. Val and Earl are well ahead of the other town folk as they march along the side of Pham Van's. But where's Melvin? Nothing here but the oppressive hot desert silence. They hear a soft, stuttering whimper. From above, there's terrified Melvin halfway up a telephone pole, clinging to it desperately. Val and Earl freeze in their tracks and glance at each other, realizing instantly what's up. Without a word, they leap desperately in opposite directions like a breaching whale. The creature roars up through the earth right where they were standing. Great mouth gaping open, slimy tentacles lashing in all directions. The townsfolk scatter, that some headed for their homes, including Viola and Nestor. Others scramble over each other as they pile back into Pham Vans. The telephone pole shudders. Melvin falls and scampers for the nearest hiding place, a corrugated tin storage shed near Pham Vans. Interior Pham Van storage day. Val, Earl, Rhonda, Miguel, and Pham Van rush in.
Jesus Christ, man. You got a gun?
Big as a house. What are we going to do?
Quiet.
Miguel and Pham shut up. Then we hear something new. The building itself creaking and groaning like a ship. The liquor bottles behind Pham Van's bar vibrate and clink. The creature is moving beneath the building. The people freeze like mannequins. Now we hear its pig-like snorting. Pham Van and Miguel react as the awful smell percolates up through the floorboards. Val signals them to keep quiet. Finally, the creaking stops. Rhonda addresses the group in an intense whisper.
Remember, no noise, no vibration.
Everyone stands stock still and sweats. But then slowly we become aware of a faint, yet oddly familiar sound. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Mindy on her pogo stick. They all scramble to the window. Exterior Main Street day. There she is alone on the vacant street. Walkman blaring in her ears, merrily bouncing along to a rock and roll beat. Angle Pham Van store. Thoughts of personal safety vanish as the horrified people lean out of the doors and window and shout with one voice.
Mindy!
Oh,
Get off your pogo stick! Get in here, girl! Run, Mindy!
Angle Mindy. She can't hear them over her Walkman. A telltale puff of dust spurts up not 50 feet from her. Angle Pham Van store. Val sees Mindy has only seconds left. He vaults straight out the window and charges towards her. Right behind him comes Earl and Rhonda. Angle Nancy. As she rounds a corner at the opposite end of town, she spots Mindy, then sees Val running. She starts running.
Mindy.
Angle Mindy. She's lazily bouncing in circles. Squeak, squeak, squeak. She goes wide-eyed as she rotates to see Val coming at her like a mad bull, arms outstretched. The asphalt under her pogo sticks cracks and Val tackles her, both of them tumbling head over heels. She scrambles up, rubbing her skinned elbows and yelling.
Ow, Val, you hurt me.
Val claps his hand over her mouth. She goes wide-eyed as she sees her pogo stick standing straight up in the cracked asphalt. Then it is sucked down like so much spaghetti. Nancy rushes into frame, hugging Mindy. Val signals her to be quiet. They sit uneasy. Where's the creature? Suddenly, the pogo stick erupts out of the earth right in their midst. Val runs one way, Nancy and Mindy the other, heading up the street towards their house. Val scrambles up into his pickup truck. The creature rams the truck, rupturing a tire as it shakes the truck violently. Val spots Rhonda and Earl now standing uncertainly halfway between him and Pham Vans.
For Christ's sake!
Rhonda and Earl hesitate.
We gotta get him off there. It'll suck that truck down.
But Earl now hears something behind them. Down the street, a little wall of cinder blocks framing Viola's driveway suddenly topples over.
Oh, Jesus, Rhonda, another one.
Angle low camera, Rhonda and Earl. Camera charges towards them. Earl swerves towards Pham Vans, but Rhonda is cut off. She heads towards the next nearest haven. Exterior storage shed day. The storage shed where Melvin is hiding. It sits in a vacant, weed-choked lot. Crashing through the weeds, Rhonda has almost reached the shed when she's suddenly brought up short and slams face down in a cloud of dust. She can't get up. Something's got her. She's caught in an old rusted barbed wire fence, lying almost flat, hidden in the weeds. Some strands have come loose and are curled up like vicious concertia wire. Barely has she taken this in when the ground caves in under her. She rolls wildly to one side as hooked tentacles snake up, missing her by inches. She keeps rolling, crawling, scrambling, anything to get away from the awful maw, but gets her legs hopelessly tangled in the barbed wire. She freezes. The creature feels around where she was. She calms herself, pulls gingerly at the wire, working tensely to free herself, but the creature's mouth slams shut on the fence like a spider sensing something caught in its web. The monster knows it's on to something. Its hooked tentacles shoot forward to snare 3 feet of fence. Then the creature lunges up and out, swallowing that 3 feet in a big gulp and yanking Rhonda violently towards it. She screams, pants ripping, legs slashing and bleeding. Gulp. She's dragged even closer. Exterior Main Street, the pickup day. The truck shakes and shimmies as Val's creature tries to pull it down. Val sees that Rhonda's in trouble. He searches frantically for a weapon and finds one, a chainsaw. He leaps as far as the truck as he can and hits the ground running, yanking furiously on the saw starter cord. Exterior storage day. Shed day. Rhonda is in the dead panic, thrashing helplessly in the barbed wire. The beast takes another gulp of fence, wrenching her within inches of a probing hooked tentacle. Suddenly, we hear a nasty roar as Val's chainsaw swings in, slicing the squirming tentacle in half, spraying gore everywhere. The creature unleashes an unearthly shriek, and the other tentacles recoil. The severed one writhes like a beheaded snake. Val yanks off Rhonda's boots.
Come on! Out of your pants!
She frantically claws at her belt, but in mere seconds,
Look out!
Tentacles snake out to regain their grip on the fence. Val grabs the saw and starts slashing wildly, but this time the hooked tentacles snag it and wrench it from his grasp. It slams into the ground, motor dying. The monster readies itself for the lunge that will suck Rhonda in. Val grabs her under the arms and pulls. Rhonda wriggles wildly to get out of her wire and meshed pants. The creature lunges. Rhonda pulls free. She and Val tumble backward. The creature gets only a mouthful of Rhonda's jeans. The next instant, second creature explodes up through the ground right next to fallen Val and Rhonda. They roll sideways, coming up running, and sprint for Pham Vans along an old wooden sidewalk. Exterior Pham Van store day. Earl flings the front door. Val and Rhonda race towards the porch. Right on their heels, the creature ripples the boards like an ocean wave.
Come on, don't look back. Just run. Run like screaming fuck.
No pardon my French this time. They dive through the open door as Pham Vans, the rippling boards zoom on past it. Earl quickly eases the door shut. Interior Pham Van store day. Earl turns to breathless Rhonda.
Pardon my French.
Ah, there it is. Dissolve to interior Pham Van store later. It's a tense, edgy group. Every moment made is in slow motion. Every word is a whisper. They gaze grimly out the windows at the silent, deserted, heat-simmering Main Street. Val gingerly dabs iodine into the cuts on Rhonda's legs, and she doesn't even wince.
You paying attention? This ought to hurt like hell.
It does.
She smiles at him.
So is that one of your usual jobs, saving people's lives?
First time for me.
She gazes at him. He looks away. Over at the bar, Pham holds up a new pair of pants for Rhonda.
Oh, thank you.
Grateful for something to do, Val eases over to get the pants. Rhonda looks after him. Then she becomes aware of someone staring at her. It's Earl giving her a big Cheshire cat grin that says, "What did I tell you?" Pham hands the pants to Val, then Pham and Miguel reach simultaneously for a Sod's bottle and knock it over. It rolls all the way down the bar as a flurry of desperate hands try to catch it. No good. It rolls off in the end and crash. Everyone freezes. Sure enough, the building shudders. Floorboards creak and bend as searching tentacles thump and scrape along underneath the floor. People close their eyes, not even breathing. Finally, the noise subsides. Everyone relaxes a little.
So what are we gonna do, you know? How long do they go away? They got the patience of Job. They just sit and goddamn wait till they hear something that sounds like lunch. We need a plan.
I got a plan. You and Val take your truck, get to the mountains, hike to Bixby. Get us some help.
Those scum suckers ate my radials, Pham.
We can take my truck then.
No good. You need major four-wheel drive just to get up that Jeep trail.
They all shut up when they hear Viola's dog yapping in the distance. Exterior Viola's trailer day. Up the hill across from Pham Van's, the old trailer looks perfectly peaceful, except Viola's dog keeps yapping. Then we hear panicked Viola.
Quiet, you hateful thing.
Interior Pham Van store day.
Shut it up. Shut the little bastard up.
Chuck him out the door like a little hors d'oeuvre.
Interior Viola's trailer day. We hear a loud whap. The dog's bark simply changes to piercing yelps. It would be funny, except the trailer suddenly bucks upward, hit from below as though by a pile driver. Again and again, the unseen creatures slam into the frail structure.
Get away, get away. Oh, God in heaven, help me.
The trailer is finally knocked right off its foundation. It tips over and tumbles all the way down the hill. As the dust clears, all is silent. A huge hole is torn in the trailer's floor. Viola's possessions are scattered everywhere. Interior Pham Van store day. Everyone stares in shock.
Oh my God.
Son of a bitch and low-life putrid scum.
We gotta do something. We gotta get the bastards.
Man, what the hell can we do to those things? Well, we're sure as hell not going to sit here being quiet for God knows how long, are we?
Now, wait a minute, Earl. I got enough food here to last us for weeks. Those damn things can't wait around forever. We can do it. I mean, if we have to, right?
Everyone turns away from the windows, gingerly sitting down, glumly pondering this possibility. There's a long silence. Then suddenly, roar! The silence is shattered as Pham Van's big freezer compressor suddenly comes on.
Jesus, shut it off.
Pham runs to the freezer. Its on-off switch is buried behind stacks of soft drink cases. He tears at them like a madman, toppling them this way and that. Earl and Val join him. But right behind Pham, the floor buckles up, a monster snout bursting through and engulfing one of his legs. The creature starts to back down into the jagged hole, dragging, screaming Pham with it. Val, Earl, Rhonda, and Miguel grab Pham's arms, but they're no match for the monster. It shakes and spins him like a gigantic dog, effortlessly throwing them off, relentlessly pulling Pham down. The hole in the floor is too small for Pham to fit through. As one leg goes down, the other is bent hideously backwards. Pham screams and screams as jagged wood tears into him. Bones snap, ribs crack. The others grab him again, but are utterly helpless. With vicious, powerful jerks, the creature yanks the man's mangled body down. The last thing we see is his foot, now folded back past his head, and he's gone. Ugh. Val is wild with helpless anger.
Son of a bitch! Son of a bitch!
The floor bulges up in another place. A second creature, then a third coming right up under them. Earl sprawls into the bar. Rhonda springs up into the shelves in the middle of the store, knocking groceries everywhere. Val and Miguel climb up shelves which cover the rear wall of the store. The whole building shakes and shudders, dust powdering down from the ceiling. Flailing tentacles are everywhere, slashing open food packages. Clouds of flour fill the air. Val spots a hatch in the ceiling.
Everybody, this way, roof.
Earl leaps from the bar to the rear shelves. Val and Miguel slide sideways till they're beneath the hatch. Then they use the shelves as a ladder, climbing up to the hatch. Val pounds on it frantically. In the middle of the store, Rhonda leaps from shelf to shelf, trying to get closer to where Val is. Soon she reaches the last one, balancing precariously. But a creature tips over the first one. The shelves topple like dominoes, crashing towards Rhonda. She is half catapulted, half jumps right through the open window, ripping through the screen. Val sees what's happened. With maniacal strength, he smashes open the hatch and climbs out onto exterior Pham van store roof day. Val rushes to the edge of the roof, shouting,
Rhonda, keep moving. Don't stop.
He looks down where Rhonda fell. She's not there. He hears a whistle and is relieved to see exterior water tower day. Rhonda is perched as high as she can get on the water tower near Pham vans. It's nearly 20 feet tall, a simple wood frame holding a big galvanized tank. The wooden legs stand on big concrete anchors buried in the ground. Exterior storage shed day. Melvin peers terrified out the shed door up at the guys on the Pham van's roof.
Come on.
Hey, what's going on, man? What the hell are you doing up there?
Melvin, shut the hell up.
It's too late. Wham! The creature strikes. The little shed shudders, dust puffed up from every old seam. And in a split second, Melvin has climbed to the shed roof. Exterior Nancy's house day. Nancy and Mindy peer to the window, surprised to see the men on Pham Bam's roof. Exterior perfection wide day. We hear Val shouting to the remaining townsfolk.
Nancy! Nestor!
Exterior Pham Bam store roof day.
Get up on your roof! On your roof! Come through the floor!
The store shakes and shimmies. We hear the monster's thunders crashing from below.
Can't you shout a little quieter?
Exterior Burt and Heather's house day. Burt and Heather's place, about a mile from town, is no nonsense. Functional, ugly, unpainted concrete walls, no yard, chain link fence. Burt and Heather dive up to their big blazer and park right outside their house. Hot and tired, they climb out, each carrying a heavy scooped hunting rifle. Burt peers through perfection through binoculars during.
I can't believe it. No tracks, no sign, no sport.
Yeah, whatever they are. You'd think they think after they ate all those sheep, they'd have to take a dump someplace. What the hell's going on in town?
Exterior perfection, telephoto, Burt's point of view day. The town is a very strange sight, as it's as though an invisible flood were in progress. Driving people to high ground, we see Rhonda perched on the water tower, Val, Earl, and Miguel on the store roof, Nancy and Mindy on their roof, Melvin on the storage shed, Nestor on his roof. Exterior Pham van store roof day. Val, Earl, and Miguel gaze out at the town, trying to concoct a plan. Suddenly, Earl perks up. The men speak softly.
Hey, here's the plan. Nestor's Cadillac. His tires are 916s. We sprint for it, grab the spare, put it on our truck with our spare.
Val stares at him incredulously.
How the hell long does it take you to change a tire?
Just about too damn long. Bolt pattern's probably wrong anyway.
Look, we need another plan.
Suddenly, down in the store, Pham Van's CB radio squawks loudly.
Yo, PV, Burt here, come back.
The building shudders as the creature again smashes through the floor inside, looking for the source of the noise. Val, Earl, and Miguel scramble to the edge of the roof. Exterior Pham van store day. The CB radio sits on a shelf near an open window. Tentacles are feeling along the wall just below it. Val peers outside the window, upside down. He snatches the radio and is hauled straight up from out of frame.
Pham, anybody? Copy?
Exterior Pham van store roof day. Miguel and Earl haul Val by the feet back up to the roof. Val quickly turns down the CB volume.
Burt, now listen. We found out what's been killing people. Over.
Interior Burt and Heather's house basement day. A peculiar cross between bomb shelter and blue-collar den, Burt's wood-paneled basement has all the comforts for post-apocalyptic living. Burt talks on his CB.
Negative copy on that, Pham. Check your frequency. I'm on 49.
Burt, can you hear me now?
Just barely, Pham. What are you all doing on your roofs? What the hell's going on? Come back.
A few feet away, Heather works on their ammunition reloading bench. She dumps a few hundred empty cartridge cases into a case cleaner and switches it on. It hums loudly as it vibrates. Interior Pham van store day. The groping tentacles swiftly suck back below the floor, tilt up to see out the window some distance away. A couple of old trash cans topple over as the creature streaks past beneath them, making a beeline for Burt's. Exterior Pham van store roof day. Miguel points frantically at the trash cans.
Oh man, they're going, man. I think they're going for Burt.
Val talks a little louder into the mic, intercut as needed.
Burt, this is Val. Get out of your basement. Take your radio. You and Heather, get up to your roof. Then we'll talk, okay?
Val, what the hell are you doing back already?
Get out. Get up on your roof or someplace. We found out what's been killing people. They're under the ground.
What's under the ground? We're not getting up. We're getting up on the roof. Earth shelter is the best. Known that since I was a kid.
Listen, we know what they are. They're big things under the ground. They're bigger than we thought. They're coming for you. They're coming right now.
Interior Burt and Heather's house basement day. Hearing that warning, Burt and Heather go into a well-honed drill. They grab their hunting rifles and take positions at the basement windows. Burt scans with the binoculars. He sees nothing. He glances at Heather. She shrugs. Nobody coming.
We don't see anything, Val. Now, what the hell are you talking about? Over.
Val is frantic. How do you explain these things?
They're coming underground. They can dig like a son of a bitch. Big monsters under the ground, Burt. Get the hell out. Hurry.
Burt and Heather exchange looks. Has Val gone nuts? Then they hear a low rumble, growing louder and louder. Tools hanging over the workbench start to shake. The decorative cow skulls on the wall rattle. The overhead lights sway, and then everything stops. Dead silence except for the humming of the case cleaner. Then the wall moves. The wood paneling bulges slightly. Nails pop out. The wall is being pushed again. The paneling cracks. A cow skull falls. Burt and Heather level their rifles, and a huge creature pushes right through the wall. Fully half its bulbous spiked body writhes into the center of the room. Great multi-part jaws drooling open, hooked tentacles lashing out. Exterior Pham van store roof day. The three men can hear the chaos over the CB.
Jesus Christ.
The CB goes dead. The men stare numbly. Then, drifting across the desert, a soft popping sounds. The men perk up. They know what it is. Distant gunfire. Interior Burt and Heather's house basement day. The gunfire is deafening as Burt and Heather blast away. Gobby blood splurts from a dozen wounds and the creature pulls back a little. The couple keeps firing until magazines are empty. The creature lunges forward again. Pan with Burt and Heather to reveal a wall of the basement we hadn't seen until now. A wall covered with guns, handguns, long guns, riot guns, flare guns, antique guns, military guns, and elephant guns. Heather grabs an HK-91 assault rifle, slams in 2 magazines, bottoms taped end to end, and opens fire. A hooked tentacle snags her boot, yanking her right off her feet. Burt pumps out 8 devastating blasts from a 12-gauge riot gun, severing the tentacle. Heather is on her feet in an instant. She expertly flops her double magazine over, loading the full one taped upside down to it, and opens fire again. Burt grabs an AR-15 semi-auto and joins her. They lay down massive fire, vertically disappearing in muzzle flash and smoke. Ejected shell cases clatter and clang all around the room. The guns are empty. The creature is still coming. They back down the wall, desperately grabbing weapons, one after another. A lever action, a magnum handgun, even a flare gun, which Heather fires right into the creature's mouth. Shrieking in pain, the horrid thing keeps wriggling towards them. Burt and Heather scramble up over a desk to keep something between them and it. Burt smashes open a fancy glass case holding a huge 4-gauge elephant gun. He slams in 2 gigantic cartridges nearly an inch in diameter. He fires. The concussion literally shakes the building. The recoil slams Burt back against the wall. The monster bullet tears monster holes in the monster. Great gouts of curdles blood spew from it. Burt hits an artery or something. The beast convulses grotesquely, then collapses, deflating like a beached whale. Burt and Heather stagger together and hug each other fervently. They stare dumbfounded at the massive dead horror. Burt suddenly shouts vehemently,
Broke into the wrong goddamn rec room, didn't you, you bastard?
Exterior fan band store, roof day. Val, Earl, and Miguel listen to the silence, hoping for some sign that their friends are alive. Suddenly,
we killed it! You got that? We killed that motherfucker! Come back!
It takes a moment for this to sink in, then the men cheer as quietly as possible.
Roger that, Burt. Congratulations. Be advised, however, there are 4 more, repeat, 4 more motherfuckers. Come back.
Exterior Burt and Heather's house, roof day. Burt and Heather dash out into the roof laden with weapons, ammo boxes, and their CB radio. They hit the deck, assorted rifles, and the elephant gun, the ready. Exterior fan band store, roof day. Val shouts to everyone.
They got one. They killed one of the sons of bitches.
Exterior storage shed, roof day. Melvin pumps his fist in the air.
Way to go, dudes.
Exterior, the Stern Good house, roof day. Nancy and Mindy hug each other. Exterior Nestor's house, roof day. Perched on his Spanish tile roof, Nestor pours coffee from his thermos and raises his cup in a toast. Exterior water day, tower day. Rhonda lets out a whoop. Exterior fan band store, roof day. The men sit temporarily jubilant.
Well, I guess we can't get to make fun of Bert's lifestyle anymore, huh?
Val grabs the CB mic.
Burt, any chance you can get the rest of them?
Exterior Burt and Heather's house, roof day. Burt and Heather peer from their fortress-like roof. Burt spots earth bulging from up near the foundation of his house.
1 second, Val.
He grabs the elephant gun, takes 2 well-aimed shots, 2 deafening booms, which echo off the distant mountain. But the bullets bury themselves harmlessly in the dirt. The bulge in the dirt moves calmly away and sinks from view. Heather shakes her head.
You're not getting any penetration even with the elephant gun.
Damn, Val, we can't get them. Never figured on having to shoot through dirt. Best goddamn bullet stop there is. Come back.
Exterior fan band store, roof day. The men are disappointed. That's not what they wanted to hear from Burt. Then Earl perks up and grabs the CB mic.
Okay, Burt, listen. Forget shooting them. Tell me this. Can you get to your truck?
No problem.
Good. You got the only truck in the valley that can make it up that damn Jeep trail. So here's the plan. You and Heather go for help. Get to the mountains.
But Rhonda interrupts, pointing urgently from the water.
Guys, they're up to something.
Val and Earl and Miguel rush to the edge of the roof and look down where she's pointing. A creature is running its tentacles along the building's foundation. It's strange, more studied movement than we've seen before.
What's it doing?
Why do you all keep asking me?
They all stare nervously down as the tentacles feel their way along the wall, moving towards the corner of the building. Suddenly, Miguel spots something down the next wall.
Hey, there's another one coming.
Another set of tentacles is feeling along the adjacent wall. The 2 creatures meet at the corner, their tentacles touching rather like ants' antennae. They submerge, tentacles zipping into the earth. Nothing happens for a moment. Then the corner of the building suddenly heaves up a couple of feet. Clapboard siding splits. A warped window shatters. We don't see the creatures, only the effect of their shoving from below. The men nearly lose their balance. Then the corner sinks back down.
What the hell was that all about?
Exterior Nancy's house day. Nancy and Mindy are still huddled on the roof. They don't make a sound. They're startled when the house suddenly groans and tilts as the creatures give it a tentative shove. Nancy and Mindy frantically cling at the peak of the smooth roof. The picture windows shatter. We hear beams pop and crack. Dishes crash off shelves. The front screen door swings open. At the last, the house settles slowly back down. Exterior fan band store, roof day. The men are watching Nancy's house tensely.
They weren't making any noise. What are they bothering them for?
They're studying the building, trying to figure them out.
Rhonda chimes in from the water tower.
Yeah, they're confused. They can feel our vibrations, but they can't find us.
They're working together, too.
Yeah, like they got a plan.
Breaker there, Earl. What do you want us to do?
Hang on, Burt. The bastards are up to something.
Exterior Nestor's house roof day. Straddling the peak of his steeply sloping roof, Nestor grabs on in panic as the creatures lift the place up slowly. The roof warps, Spanish tiles shatter, and rain down to the ground. This causes a flurry of activity. Tentacles snake around where the tiles fell. We hear creatures slash through the inside, snorting and huffing. They attack the house in earnest, shaking it violently, pushing the front walls out till it falls flat. The roof collapses on that side. Nestor can't hang on. He slides all the way down, landing across the window on the flattened wall. The next instant, he's grabbed and pulled through the window right into the ground. He screams. Dolly along the ground, heading towards the storage shed where Melvin is. All we see is dirt, but we can still hear Nestor screaming underground. His screams get more and more faint as Dolly ends on. Exterior storage shed day. Close on horrified Melvin as he rocks back and forth autistically.
Oh, wow, man. No way. No fucking way, man.
Exterior Nancy house roof day. Nancy comforts Mindy. Exterior water day. Rhonda turns away. Exterior Pham van store roof day. Val, Earl, and Miguel stare in horror and disbelief. Miguel crosses himself. They're in a worse trouble than they thought.
They knocked this place down on purpose, man. They're going to tear this whole town out from under us.
Exterior Burt and Heather's house day. Burt and Heather's truck is parked in foreground. The couple is on the roof in background. Burt prowls along the edge of the roof with the elephant gun. Heather mans the CB.
Burt! Heather!
Yeah, Val?
We're in deep shit over here. Let's change that plan.
A hump of dirt raises near the base of the house. Burt jerks the rifle over his shoulder and squeezes off a shot. The hump moves away from the house.
Kick it off, Burt.
I think I scared it.
Look, forget going for help. We'll all be dead long before you get back.
Still moving away, the hump of dirt passes under the sidewalk, rippling the flagstones gently.
We're here, Val. Just tell us what you need. Come back.
Down the houses here. We all got to get out. Got to get out of here together now.
The hump of dirt passes underneath Burt and Heather's truck, rocking the vehicle slightly.
We're with you, Val. We'll come get everybody. Just hang tight.
The truck's security alarm starts booping. Burt and Heather stare down helplessly as the noisy truck is furiously attacked by the frenzied creatures. Dust flies as metal rips and tires shred. Exterior Pham van store roof day. Val, Earl, and Miguel listen in disbelief to the distant truck alarm. It finally sputters and dies.
Val, we're going to have to forget about the truck.
Yeah, Heather. We got you.
They hit rock bottom. They sit in helpless, desperate silence. Over on the storage shed roof, Melvin is losing it.
Hey, you better think of something, man. You got to do something.
Who?
Man.
Miguel nods in agreement. Val and Earl stare at him incredulously.
What? Since when the hell is every goddamn thing up to us?
You guys do all the odd jobs.
Val just stares at her. Then crash! The store shutters, creaks and groans. The creatures are back. One corner of the store lifts up, beam splintering. Then another corner lifts up. The roof tilts like the deck of a storm-tossed ship. From now on, the monsters shake and ram the building almost constantly. Hanging on tight, the men peer over the edge.
We don't have a hell of a lot of time here.
Meanwhile, Rhonda tries her desperate best to be logical.
All right, look, the situation hasn't changed. We still have to get to solid rock. There must be some way.
Like what? There's nothing left that'll make it to the mountains.
Hey, Val, quiet, man.
We need a helicopter is what we need, or a goddamn tank.
Wait a minute. The cat. Could we take the cat?
Jesus, it's slower than hell.
Yeah, but it weighs better than 30 tons. No way they could stop it. Well, we can't all fit on that bulldozer.
But Val is warming to the idea.
What? We could pull something. Like, we could, I don't know, drag a car behind it.
A car, huh? Like a big armored car. Need something bigger, tougher. Our truck, maybe, or hell, that old semi-trailer.
Its tires are flat.
Doesn't matter, the cat can pull anything.
Well, all right, we'll just roll out of here.
We got a plan.
They squint at the bulldozer way in the distance.
Of course, that's one hell of a long walk.
They stare grimly, momentarily stuck for an idea. Then,
Oh, listen, they only respond to vibration, right? Couldn't we distract them somehow?
Yeah, good. Something to keep them busy. We need a decoy.
Hey, Melvin, you want to make a buck?
Fuck you.
Miguel grabs Earl and points down at a little garden tractor and a jumble of Pham Van's equipment and tools near the side of the store.
Hey, how about the tractor? Start him up. Let him go by itself. Let those things chase it all over if they like that noise. Not bad. What do you think?
The store takes a heavy hit. The front porch collapses with a terrific crash.
I think the ground's getting closer. I think we do. We're going to save our asses here.
Wait, how are you going to know when they're following it?
Good point.
We got two right here.
Val scrambles to the highest point of the sagging roof and shouts to Nancy.
Nancy, we got to find all four of them. How many you got over there?
Exterior Nancy's house roof day. The house shuddering and shaking.
There's one. I think one.
Exterior Pham Van's store roof day. Earl grabs the CB mic.
Burt, Heather, we got a little sort of a plan going here, maybe. Can you tell if you've still got any of those things out at your place? Come back.
Exterior Burt and Heather's house roof day. Burt.
Damn it, Burt.
Burt. Roger that. Yeah, you still got one poking around?
All right, that's four. Let us know if it starts moving, Burt.
Roger that.
Exterior Pham Van store tractor day. Val and Earl have lowered Miguel down to a windowsill right above the garden tractor. He has used his kerchief to tie the steering wheel to keep the front wheel straight. He jams the throttle open and signal thumbs up to Val and Earl above. Exterior Pham Van store roof day. Val and Earl stride purposely towards the opposite end of the roof, realizing they have the same idea. Each one tries to edge ahead of the other.
I'm making the run for the cat.
Oh, like hell you are.
Get real. I'm faster than you.
I'm best at driving the cat.
Only if something happens to me.
Look, you better listen. I'm older and wiser.
Yeah, well, you're half right.
Earl raises a fist. The challenge. They do rock, paper, scissors. 1, 2, 3. Val loses.
Damn. Guess I gotta do it.
I won. I pick who does it.
Val glares at him. Earl's obviously determined.
Ready when you are, Miguel.
Earl positions himself, nervous as hell, ready to leap at the right moment. Exterior Pham Van store tractor day. Miguel leans out precariously and pulls the tractor starter cord. Nothing. On the second try, it starts. He slams it into gear and sends it out towards open desert. The store shakes under Miguel, almost knocking him off the windowsill as two humps of dirt pursue the noisy tractor.
There they go. They're chasing it.
Exterior Nancy's house day. The spout of dust erupts near the foundation as the creature beneath zooms away towards the new sound. Nancy whispers.
Going. There goes this one. It's going.
Exterior Pham Van store roof day. The CB radio squawks.
Hey, this guy just took off like a shot. What do you people do?
Earl is poised to leap. Val steps up and slaps him on the back.
Watch your ass, shithead.
Don't worry about me, jerk off.
Val instantly elbows Earl hard in the stomach.
Oh.
As Earl doubles over, Val springs off the edge of the roof.
Oh, you goddamn suicidal son of a bitch.
We see Val running for all he's worth, and there's the bulldozer at the edge of the town, a long way away. Exterior desert day. Low camera pursues the garden tractor as it bounces along. Exterior perfection day. Val charges across the vast open area that separates him from the bulldozer. We can hear the tractor droning along in the background. Exterior desert day. The tractor suddenly takes a bad bounce and flips over. The engine dies. Total silence. Exterior Pham Van store roof day. Earl, Rhonda, and Miguel have seen the tractor take a header.
Oh my God.
Exterior edge of town. Val day. Val's crunching boots seem incredibly loud in the sudden silence. He hesitates, glancing over his shoulder. He's totally out in the open, halfway to the bulldozer. Should he run back or go forward? He decides to go for the bulldozer. Exterior desert day. All four creatures are now heading for Val. Intercut 4 slightly different low camera angles, speeding over the ground, racing after him. He strains to the limit, breaths coming in painful rasps, but the creatures are closing in on him with chilling ease. Exterior Pham van store roof day. Everyone watches in horror.
He'll never make it. They're gonna get him.
Oh my God, Val, stop! They're coming! Don't move!
Exterior edge of town Val day. Val hears her and stops dead. So do the creatures. Maybe 20 feet away, their giant snouts poke up out of the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4. Val stands trembling. The creatures soft shuffle back and forth, searching blindly for him. Hooked tentacles feeling everywhere. One tentacle sweeps towards Val's boot. He manages to lift his boot just in time, letting the tentacle pass beneath it. He balances precariously like a flamingo. Exterior Pham van store roof day.
It worked. They can't find him. Okay, we gotta make some noise, a lot of noise. Hey, you sorry sons of bitches, come and get me.
He starts jumping noisily up and down. Miguel joins in, cursing the monsters in Spanish. Exterior water tower day. Rhonda kicks and shouts, but it's obvious they need something louder. She spots the aging outlet pipe coming from the water tank, bracing herself as she kicks at it with both feet. It finally gives way at a rusted joint. A torrent of water blasts out, thundering into the dirt. Exterior edge of town Val day. All the creatures wheel about in the dirt and zoom off towards the town. Val breathes a sigh of relief and sprints to the bulldozer. Exterior Pham van store roof day.
That did it, girl. God damn, good thinking.
Exterior water tower day. A mass of tentacles and snouts swirling through the big puddle where the water is falling. The creature's breathing throws up spouts of muddy water. Rhonda looks down nervously. Earl calls reassuringly from Pham vans.
Hey, don't worry. No way they can lift that tower. I mean, it's really heavy.
Insert concrete footing. The dirt begins to cave in around the tower's footing. The creatures are digging the dirt away. Back to scene. The water tower tilts ever so slightly, creaking and groaning. Rhonda frantically grabs a handhold.
They're not trying to lift it!
Exterior bulldozer day. Val lands in the driver's seat and turns the engine over. It doesn't start.
Oh, no fucking way!
The old machine starts. Val slams it into reverse and backs up towards the semi-trailer. Exterior water tower day. The water tower is starting to tilt. Seriously. Water spills over the top edge of the tank, drenching Rhonda. Exterior bulldozer day. Val has used heavy chains on the back of the bulldozer to jerry-rig a hitch to the semi-trailer. Now he scrambles back into the driver's seat. He guns the engine, wrenching the old semi-trailer from years of dried mud and tumbleweeds. Ancient tires disintegrate. Rusted wheels screech and complain, but it moves. Val lets out a whoop and heads full tilt for town. He's suddenly shocked as he sees exterior water tower day. Rhonda's in big trouble. She scrambles to the high side of the tower platform. The tower is going to tip over at any moment. Its roof slides off and crashes into the street. On Pham vans, Miguel and Earl are tearing apart the swamp cooler, throwing pieces of it off the roof, trying to distract the creatures, but they can't compete with the noise from the water. In the background, the bulldozer rumbles towards the town at top speed, an excruciating slow 8 miles per hour. The tremendously heavy water tank suddenly tears loose, sliding off its platform, nearly carrying Rhonda with it. She ends up hanging from the crossbeam as the water tank splatters like an enormous egg below, sending a small tidal wave down the street. The remains of the tower tilt crazily nearly 45 degrees. The bulldozer grinds closer and closer. Rhonda tries to climb up, but the jostling and shuddering of the tower keeps her dangling precariously. Suddenly, she falls and lands in the dirt. The creatures zero in on her. She turns wildly and leaps for the blade of the approaching bulldozer. The blade is only inches off the ground, but Val swiftly raises it, lifting Rhonda high into the air just as the grasping tentacles. Exterior perfection, Main Street day. As Rhonda climbs down from the cab, Val heads the bulldozer over to Pham vans and stops. Almost as soon as he does, creatures attack, frenzy of tentacles grabbing at all sides of the massive earth-moving machine, slithering into the treads. Val and Rhonda watch this nervously as Earl and Miguel quickly clamber from the roof down into the protective steel belly of the semi-trailer. Val mentally crosses his fingers and sends the bulldozer roaring forward. An effortlessly tears loose from the tentacles, grinding one to a pulp in its treads. The creature shrieks in pains. The humans cheer. At last, they've got the upper hand. Exterior storage shed day. Melvin dances merrily and noisily on the metal roof.
Way to go, dumb fucking worms. No haul ass over here, man. Me next. Get him off here.
The flimsy shed seems almost to explode as a furious creature roars up inside. The walls buckle out. The whole structure sags. Melvin scrambles to the peak of the roof.
Oh, shit. Oh, God, help.
As the unseen creature thrashes around inside the shed, the walls topple outward and the roof drops to the ground like a pancake. Melvin has lost all self-control and just keeps screaming. Val pulls alongside, jumps down onto the tread, and reaches out to Melvin. But just as they join hand, the creature hits the roof from beneath, dragging it several feet. Val is yanked off the bulldozer and lands with Melvin on the roof. The creature slams into the roof repeatedly, but the corrugated metal is both light and resilient. It bends, but the frustrated monster can't get enough bite to tear through it. Val and Melvin straddle the peak of the roof, trying desperately to hang on as it heaves up, buckling like a bronco. Earl scrambles into the driver's seat and heads after them at full throttle, the big diesel roaring. Melvin and Val prepare to jump onto the bulldozer, but just before it reaches them from the roof, suddenly starts to slide like some mad flying carpet, carried from beneath by a creature. Val hangs on like a rodeo rider, struggling to keep fear-crazed Melvin from tumbling off. Exterior dirt ditch day. The roof zigs and zags, spins and twists. Melvin and Val won't be shaken loose. Earl does his best to head it off, but it's hard to predict which way the roof will scoot next. The roof careens alongside the edge of the dirt wall drainage ditch, then suddenly skitters sideways and plunges over the edge. Melvin and Val tumble to the bottom as they jump to their feet.
We have about 3 seconds.
Val sees almost right above them as an exposed pipe which spans the ditch. He shoves Melvin towards it. They leap up and grab the pipe, pulling their legs up as high as they can. An instant later, the creature blasts through one wall of the ditch, roars past beneath them, and burrows into the opposite wall. Earl brings the bulldozer to a thundering stop next to them.
Well, come on.
Exterior Nancy's house day. Nancy and Mindy huddle together on the roof. The upraised scoop blade of the bulldozer comes into shot with Val riding it. He helps them step across into it. Exterior Burt and Heather's house roof day. Burt is using a hacksaw to cut lengths from a heavy vertical pipe to which his TV antennae was anchored. Heather works with the sections Burt has already cut off. She is filling them with gunpowder from reloading canisters and hammering the ends shut. They're making bombs. It's about time. Then they hear rumbling. What is it? More creatures? They're surprised by an odd sight of the strange contraption approaching.
God damn, armored transport.
Val climbs up on the bulldozer rolling cage so he's about even with Heather and Burt. A creature occasionally slams into them underside of the bulldozer of the semi-trailer, rocking them slightly, throwing up a cloud of dust.
Let's go, you two. We're headed for the mountains.
In a minute.
He grabs a coil of black powder cannon fuse. He cuts off the length and stuffs it in the end of one of the pipe bombs during.
Come on, Burt. We can't hold still long. They're damn smart, and they're getting smarter by the minute.
Burt hefts the finished bomb.
That's fine. We got some new things to teach them.
Damn it, they'll sink this rig just like a boat.
Just then, the bulldozer starts to tilt sideways, creatures digging dirt away beneath it. Earl guns it forward out of the depression they're making.
See that? They're doing it now. They try it every time we hold still.
Burt and Heather are impressed. They rush around the rooftop, gathering food, ammo, guns, and finished bombs, handing them to the impatient Val, who hands them down to people in the semi-trailer during.
Jesus Christ, we're only going 9 miles. Be there in 2 hours, tops.
Yeah, well, those things are going to be on your ass every foot of the way, right?
He holds up 2 rifles to Heather, the HK-91 assault rifles and another elephant gun.
What do you think? Max firepower or...
I'd go for penetration. The 4.58 shooting solid's less ammo to carry anyway.
Burt nods. Everyone on the bulldozer and semi-trailer shouts.
Who cares?
Dust flies up. The bulldozer tilts. Earl guns it forward again. Heather and Burt grab a few more things and leap down into the semi-trailer.
Give me a gun. I'll take one. I wouldn't give you a gun if it was World War III.
Earl pilots a strange-looking contraption out into the desert. Burt and Heather watch their fortress home recede.
Moved for 5 years, 1,000 gallons of gas, air filtration, water filtration, union counter, bomb shelter, underground goddamn monsters.
Heather puts a consoling arm around him. Exterior Jeep trail day. The bulldozer easily lumbers along the really rough road we saw Val and Earl's truck struggle over the other morning. As they come closer, we see Burt and Heather's riding shotgun. He's sitting out in the bulldozer scoop. She's in the rear of the semi-trailer, elephant gun at the ready. Val, Earl, and the Rhonda are in the cab. Exterior cliffs day. It's late afternoon, sun casting dramatic shadows across the beautiful desert. We are wide on the bizarre vehicle, resolutely grinding along not far from the cliffs, nearing the mountains ahead. Exterior desert bulldozer day. As they scan the desert, the people are feeling like they may get out of this after all. Earl calls back to the people in the semi-trailer.
Any sign of them? Maybe they just gave up,
Yeah, the bulldozer's too much for them, man.
As they stop a gentle rise, Burt excitedly points ahead.
There we go, solid rock.
Everyone cheers, but Heather points up ahead to one side.
What's that?
Point of view of the group, dust cloud day. Perhaps 200 yards from them, a huge cloud of dust wells up from behind the big boulders. Back to scene, everyone stares uneasily at the billowing cloud.
Is it them?
What else could it be?
What are they doing?
Maybe they're taking a dump.
Well, we're not going over there, right?
No, we go straight.
Damn it, what the hell are they doing? They're up to something.
I don't care what they're doing, as long as they're doing it way over there.
Earl shoves the throttle all the way. The engine screams. Exterior desert, dust cloud day. We move in through the cloud of dust. Dirt is flying by the ton out of an 8-foot diameter hole in the ground. A huge mound of the tunneled out dirt is already piled high. The creatures are digging a tunnel. But why? Exterior desert bulldozer day. We watch the bulldozers rumbling along. It seems unstoppable. The mountains and safety are barely a mile away. Then the earth caves in. The bulldozer plunges nose first into an unseen pit dug out just beneath the surface. The machines end up half buried at the steep angle. The semi-trailer is right on the edge of the pit. Everyone is shaken, bruised, bloodied. Val, Earl, and Rhonda look frantically for Burt, who's riding out in the front of the scoop. They're relieved to see him clawing his way out of the pit. Val hauls him up, and all four of them now leap into the semi-trailer as they come to rest. Val slowly realizes what's happened.
They took a trap. I can't believe this.
The idling bulldozer engine coughs and dies. There's a moment crushing silence. Then the dreaded digging begins. Dust boils up around the semi-trailer, creatures digging from below. The semi-trailer shakes and shudders, slowly sinking. The people huddle together in sheer panic. Val and Earl grab the nearest of Burt and Heather's gun and fire wildly, hopelessly down at the dirt. Ricochet whine into the distance. Burt grimly digs an overloaded knapsack for one of his pipe bombs. He leaps up between Val and Earl and lights the fuse, looking for a target.
Hungry? Eat this.
He tosses the bomb at some churning earth and dives back into the semi-trailer.
Keep your heads down.
Kaboom! The explosion throws up a big plume of dust and rocks. We hear a new, very strange sound of pain from the creatures. The semi-trailer instantly stops shaking. The creatures have stopped digging. All is quiet. The people peer up over the edge of the semi-trailer, looking all around them. Then...
There they are.
Point of view of the group, distant creatures. Numerous spurts of dust mark their path as they race madly away, fanning out from the semi-trailer. Back to scene.
Hey, Burt, did you get one?
Oh, no, there's still 4 of them. See, there's 4 different dust trails.
Sure got their attention, though. Let's go, Burt. Earl, what about the cat?
Earl's already staring down at the bulldozer.
No way. It's down for the count.
Val looks around. Point of view, Val, rock outcrop. Towards the cliff, he sees a big rock outcrop. Back to scene. Rhonda points in the opposite direction from where Val is looking.
They come. They're coming back.
Heather unexpectedly fires 2 deafening blasts from her elephant gun at the approaching creatures, then shakes her head frustrated. They're still coming.
Come on, everybody. We got to run for those rocks over there.
Oh, Jesus, Val, it's pretty far.
Yeah, man, they'll get us.
Well, they sure as hell will get us if we stay here.
Wait. Listen. Burt, Burt, do you have any more of those things?
The bombs? Damn right I do.
Well, what is it you throw one that way, the way we want to go? Then when the explosion happens, if it drives them away, sorry guys, we all run like a goddamn bastards. Pardon my French.
Wham! With a jolt, the semi-trailer begins shaking and shuddering again, sinking, smiling.
What if it doesn't scare them? What if they don't run?
I don't think it does scare them. It hurts them. They're so sensitive to sound. They have to run. It hurts too much.
Glances all around.
She's got my vote.
Right. We're gonna run. Get ready.
Val squats in front of a tear-streaked Mindy.
Hey, Mindy, you understand what we're gonna do? And don't worry, they can't get us once we're on the rocks.
I don't know, man. They're too fast. You can't outrun them. No way.
As Burt readies another bomb, he pauses to hand bug-eyed Melvin a huge Ruger Super Red Hawk 44 Magnum handgun.
Here, kid. This will make him think twice.
Melvin's eyes bug out further. Burt lights his bomb.
Heads down.
He hurls the bomb. Wait. Boom! Again, we hear the creature's unearthly shriek of pain. Rhonda's on her feet before the rocks stop falling. She spots the creatures.
It worked. There they go.
Well, let's do it.
Earl lets out a wild whoop. It's infectious. Crane up with them as everyone piles out of the semi-trailer like soldiers out of a trench. They charge across no man's land. Melvin runs like a demon. He's tried to shoot at the first thing he sees, but the gun just clicks over and over. Empty.
Burt, you bastard.
Enraged, he doubles his speed trying to overtake Burt. Mindy can't keep up. Nancy tries to pull her along. Val and Earl swoop in, grab Mindy under either arm, and carry her between them. Angle the creatures. The ground heaves violently as the retreating monsters angrily wheel about and charge back after the humans. Exterior desert rock outcrop day. Big slabs jutting this way and that, a rock iceberg and a sand ocean. The people scramble onto it amid whoops of joy and relief. Melvin charges up to Burt.
You asshole. There's no bullets in this gun. Got you moving, didn't it?
Burt's line gets a laugh from the people, but then tentacles burst up on all sides of the rock, probing, feeling. The effect is instantly sobering. Burt shifts, grabs out his remaining bombs, 6 of them, and holds one ready, but they're in no immediate danger.
So, now what?
Hold on a second. Sorry. Could we make it to the mountains?
Where it's all that dust. Just no way. We need like 50 of these things.
The hopelessness of the situation suddenly hits Val, Earl, and Rhonda. After a moment,
Well, that's it. We're not getting off this rock.
I'm not gonna pole vault anywhere, that's for sure.
What's the matter with you? What are you talking about?
I'll just wait out there till we're dead. That's what they'll do.
as this sinks in, Burt loses his cool, igniting an argument.
What? Well, for Christ's sake, we could have made a stand at our place. We had food, water.
You can't fight them that way.
You two jackasses hold us the way hell out of here.
Back off, Burt.
Well, who put you two in charge?
Burt, those animals would have killed you.
Everyone stares in surprise at normally quiet Nancy.
You haven't seen what they can do.
They'd have dug your place out from under you in half an hour.
There's a long, grim silence. Everyone sits glumly. Finally, Burt picks up a bomb and contemplates it.
If it comes to starvation, I know what I'm doing. Take one of those, walk right out there with the fuse lit, stuff it down my pants, and let them take me down. Boom!
Heather puts a soothing hand on his shoulder.
Jesus, honey.
But now Earl brightens a little.
No, that's not a bad idea.
The others react. Is Earl nuts?
Well, no, I mean, it gives me an idea. Going fishing like.
Exterior desert rock outcrop later. In the open desert, a rock lands. Then another. Val and Rhonda are throwing them from the rock outcrop. Val, Earl, Rhonda, and Burt have moved away from the main group to another section of the rock outcropping where intervening boulders will protect everyone from the explosion. Earl has tied a bomb to some nylon rope from one of Burt's knapsacks. Burt places the other bomb safely out of the way behind a ledge. Meanwhile, Val and Rhonda keep throwing rocks. Soon, the ground shifts.
There. Right straight in front of you.
Burt has his coil of fuse.
How much you think?
Oh, I don't know. They're pretty quick. 15 seconds?
Burt nods, expertly eyeballing a 15-second length and is snipping it off as he stuffs it into the bomb.
What the hell is that anyway?
Cannon fuse.
What do you use it for?
My cannon.
The bomb is ready. It's a moment of truth. Earl digs in his pocket for the lighter, but Val has it. Val nervously leans over to light the fuse, but then frowns as he sees how Earl is holding the rope.
Oh, come on. You're not going to do your lasso thing.
Hey, just because you're no good with a rope.
Val shakes his head and lights the fuse. Earl whirls the bomb in the end of its rope like a lasso and lets it fly out as far as he can. Then he starts pulling it back in along the ground like a fishing lure. Rhonda stares at her watch as they all sink down behind the protective boulder.
What's that, Rhonda?
Come on.
Take it. Take the bait.
Suddenly, a snout subtly surfaces and gulps down the bomb. A tense 2 seconds later, kaboom! Bull's eye. It's a volcano of gory creature parts, then splatter all over. The remaining creatures shriek and race away again. The people cheer wildly. Cut to exterior desert rock outcrop later. Val, Earl, Rhonda, and Burt prepare to try again. This time, Val has the rope and a new bomb. Rhonda stands by him, ready with the lighter. Earl lobs rocks out into the desert.
Where the hell are they? I hope they didn't wise up.
No, there, that one. That's one.
Rhonda shakily lights the fuse. Val heaves the bomb out and starts trolling. The creature swallows it. Everyone drops down behind the boulder. Val impulsively grabbing a second bomb. They tense with anticipated glee, but the creature suddenly spits its bomb back out. It sails right over their heads. It strikes a rock above them, skittering down a crevice, landing in Burt's pile of bombs. Val, Earl, and Rhonda scatter. Burt drives backward over a rock ledge. Ba-bam! All the bombs explode, throwing rocks everywhere. The creatures streak away. Val, Earl, and Rhonda sprawl into the dirt, half stunned. When the panic is over, Val and Earl realize where they are, 50 yards out in the open desert. So is Rhonda, off at an angle from them. Only Burt is safe on the rock outcrop, and the creatures are coming back fast. The stranded trio start back for the outcrop, but the creatures burst up ahead of them, one blocking Rhonda's path and the other two cutting Val and Earl off. The creatures roar towards their easy prey. Val and Earl freeze. The ground bulges as the creatures skid to a halt not 10 feet from them. Rhonda stands stock still some 50 feet away, eyeing her own creature. Over on the outcrop from the main group of people, Heather sizes up the situation.
Make noise. Everybody, come on.
Everyone starts hopping up and down, yelling, screaming, and clapping. Burt even runs a few feet out from the rocks, firing a pistol into the dirt.
Come on, you slab bags over here. Fresh meat.
The crowd keeps up the ruckus. The creatures are distracted by the noise, but this time they don't automatically go after it. Their big snouts turn uncertainly this way and that, but they just stay where they are. Their hooked tentacles slide out, feeling all around. Earl whispers,
"They're not falling for it."
Heather takes careful aim with her elephant gun.
I'll make him pay attention, goddammit.
But before she can fire, the creatures mysteriously sink from view. Val, Rhonda, and Earl remain frozen. What the hell is going on? Nothing happens. Then a huge hump of earth suddenly wells up near Rhonda. It sinks back down as fast as it appeared. It's like the creature suddenly lifted its whole body almost to the surface, then submerged again. Another hump rises and falls right near Val and Earl. There's a pause as the men whisper,
Make us move.
Or just knock us over. Look, use the bomb.
It's our last one. We can't kill them all.
The creatures try another random barrage of humps, some coming precariously close. They know they'll eventually topple their prey. One comes so close to Val and Earl that pebbles roll down its side into their boots.
Use the fucking bomb.
So we get back to the rocket in 3 days. We're all dead anyway.
I want to live for those 3 days.
More humps rise and fall. Val gives in. He signals Rhonda, gesturing with the bomb. She understands. He'll set it off, driving away the creatures, and then they'll all run back to the outcrop. Val digs for the lighter, doesn't have it. Earl digs for it too, but he doesn't have it either. They go dead pale. How could that be? They look across 50 feet of deadly open ground. Trembling Rhonda holds up the lighter. Over on the outcrop, Burt shouts.
What's wrong? Use the bomb, for God's sake.
Val signals to Rhonda to throw the lighter. She nods, but just before she does, a hump starts rising directly under her. She fights to keep her balance, struggling to keep from taking that single step, which will instantly tell the creatures where she is. But there's no hope. The hump jerks higher. Her boots slip down the gravelly side. Instantly, the creature twists towards her, its hungry mouth erupting out of the dirt. She screams and dashes for Val and Earl. They run to meet her. The other creatures surface. The trio is cut off from the rock outcrop. Val and Earl link up with Rhonda, and they all run madly while Rhonda tries to light Val's bomb fuse. But suddenly, Val yanks the bomb away.
Wait. Wait.
He veers off in a new direction. Startled, Earl and Rhonda have no choice but to follow as they desperately try to catch up to Val.
What the hell are you doing?
I got a goddamn plan.
Earl looks up ahead. They headed right for Exterior Cliffs Day, the massive cliffs. Earl's eyes bug out. In seconds, they'll be right at the brink with nowhere to run.
This better be one great plan.
As they skid to a stop at the very brink, Val breaks off the bomb fuse, leaving only 1 inch of it. He whirls to check the progress of the advancing creatures.
Get ready.
He holds the bomb out to Rhonda. She instantly tries to light it. He grabs her wrist so hard it hurts.
Light it, man, light it.
Not yet. Not yet.
The charging creatures are almost underfoot. Finally, Val pulls Rhonda's hand over to light the fuse. Instantly, he hurls the bomb as far as he can behind the creatures.
Too far, you threw it behind them.
The ground opens underneath their feet. Tentacles snake towards Val and Earl. Horrid mouth clamps onto Rhonda's boot. She screams as it starts to pull her down. Boom! The bomb explodes. The creatures shriek in pain, instantly releasing their prey and racing away from the painful shockwave in the only direction they can. Exterior cliffs, wide, low-angle day, right out through the face of the cliffs. The huge shrieking creatures seem to hang in midair for a moment, their grotesque bodies undulating in pain. Then they fall and fall and fall 1,000 feet. Exterior bottom of Cliffs Day, the creatures land in massive jagged rocks, exploding like immense, horrid watermelons. Multicolored gore festoons the whole cliff face. Tilt up to see 3 tiny figures standing at the top of the cliff. Exterior Cliff Day. Val peers down at the distant creatures for a long time. Then he notices Earl and Rhonda are staring at him. Where the hell did he get that idea? After a moment.
Well, it just suddenly hit me, Stampede.
They turn and head back towards the others. They laugh as they realize how stealthily they were walking. Val starts taking big, exaggerated stomping steps. Rhonda and Earl follow suit. The trio goes off arm in arm, stomping merrily. Dissolve to Exterior Prefection Main Street Day, or perfection, whatever. Val and Earl roll 2 scavenged truck wheels down the street towards their own truck, which is up on jacks, 2 wheels missing. Mindy races past excitedly. Look! A highway maintenance truck is rolling into town, followed by a police car. The townsfolk happily swarm around the maintenance men and police officers who gape at the destroyed town. Val and Earl eagerly start bolting on one of their new wheels.
Road's in.
Road's in. Now, as soon as we hit Bixby, we start making phone calls. We get some real money off of this whole thing. We're getting People magazine.
People, hell, National Geographic.
We'll sell the movie rights. We're going straight from blue collar to white collar.
Yeah, but no ties.
No ties. No.
Rhonda pulls up in her truck, leans out, and snaps their picture with a top-of-the-line Nikon.
Sorry, hold on a second. Hi guys, Burt loaned me his camera.
Howdy, Rhonda.
You're really leaving, huh?
You bet. You gonna be staying up here?
Well, yeah, there's going to be major research up here. First thing is to get some pictures of the one we dug up.
An awkward pause. Finally, she extends her hands to them. Val just gives it a quick shake.
Well, maybe I'll see you two sometime. And thanks for everything, saving my life and stuff.
Well, you're welcome.
She gazes at him, just a hint of something in her eyes. Earl springs to attention. Is the boy blind? Then Rhonda snaps out of it.
Well, see ya.
They nod. She drives off. Earl stares at Val, who starts putting the second wheel on the truck.
Christ, Val, maybe she's not your type, but you could at least be civil.
Civil? I'm civil.
You're not civil, you're glum. We got the world by the tail with a downhill pole, and all of a sudden you go glum on me.
Earl freezes as a bell goes off in his head.
Oh my God, she got to you. You do like her.
Somebody paying you to do this?
She just practically asked you for a date. What the hell is wrong?
Val glares at Earl for a moment.
Earl, get real. What does she need with a guy like me?
Earl is dumbfounded.
What was that? All this time she's not good enough for you? Now suddenly you're not good enough for her? God, my work is never done. You don't decide if it's worthless. She does, but you got to give her a chance.
Val lowers the jack, letting the truck down.
Earl, I'm not going to make a fool of myself. You got that covered.
Earl stands there fuming, mind racing. A last-ditch idea hits home. We see a devilish glint in his eyes.
Fine. Make the mistakes I did. I think I'll just be playing this hand myself.
Wait, what?
She likes both of us. We both helped her out.
You are so full of shit.
Oh yeah? Well, think about this. She ain't as narrow-minded as you. I'll lay odds she's looking for character in a man. For my part, I'd be proud to have her. I'd goddamn worship her.
Earl hops into the truck.
I'm going out there right now. Help her take those pictures. Set up her seismo-jiggers, whatever she wants. Who the hell knows what'll happen?
Earl starts to drive off. Val springs into the passenger seat. Through the truck's rear window, we see Val raise his hand in the challenge. They do a round of rock, paper, scissors, but it's a tie. They go again. Another tie. They keep playing and tying as they drive off into the distance, and we fade out. The end.
And that is Tremors. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you at the next one.